for a little while, resolving an issue over there. I've spoken with the state, covering Ms. Davis, and we respectfully request to continue it until we can figure out when we can get him over here or how it's going to play out with the police.
Okay,
There's no objection.
thank you. It's continued until November 13th.
Thank you, Judge. And the last case I have before the court is State versus Tammy Ann Rothacker.
Yes, sir.
That's going to be 23 CF 1029. Your Honor, depots have been set for 10/24. Subpoenas are already out, and those were set on September 5th. So all we would need is a continuance to get those depots done, and I suspect it's going to resolve after that.
Okay, so you want to continue it.
Please, sir.
Any objection from the
No,
state?
Your Honor.
It's continued until November 13th.
Thank you, Judge. That's all I have for the court this morning.
Thanks,
May I be
Mr.
excused?
Heath.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. And to those of you that are on Zoom, I started without you. I'm sorry, I forgot to bring you on. One of the things that I didn't tell the attorneys here, and I don't know who represents Tiffany Ursula.
That would be me, Judge.
Ms. Ursula was on Zoom at about 8:13 this morning when I was coming in to get everything set up. So if we can do Ms. Ursula's case, if you're ready. Ms. Ursula, I figured you thought we were on Eastern time, maybe. Ms. Ursula, everybody else, if you'll mute your mics. But Ms. Ursula, if you'll unmute your mic. Yes, ma'am. Ms. Ursula, can you hear me? I can see her. Miss Ursula? Tiffany? Tiffany, can you hear me? Nope. Okay. Can everybody else hear me? If you can, if you'll nod. Okay, good. Thank you. Let's see what we can do with Miss Ursula. I have cards that I hold up in my chambers on things like that. Let's ask Miss Ursula.
Samantha Blair. Jessica Daniels. Rebecca Martin.
That was covered or anything.
Okay, let's see if that'll. Let me get Miss Ursula. Read it or no? She's not doing anything. Mr. McKinney, if you'll try to get a hold of her, ask your office to maybe get in contact with her.
Yes, sir, I'll try to do so.
Let me know when you're ready.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Next is Coy Browning.
Thanks, sir.
Hello, Mr. Browning.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, sir.
I just have one case, Judge. His last name is Ramirez.
Yes, sir.
First name, J-C-J-E-Y-S-I. It's first time up, Judge. We asked for a continuance. I have received all the discoveries. Haven't had a chance to review it all yet.
Okay, to the state.
No objection.
It's continued one cycle until November 13th.
Thanks, sir.
Thanks, Mr. Browning. Next is Mr. Geisel.
Yes, Your Honor, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Hey, we approach.
Yes, sir. is set for trial, and it'll be on docket day, will be the next hearing.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Which is what, the 18th, correct?
Yes, sir, correct.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Steadley. Good morning, ma'am.
The first case I have is DeMonte Dawson. It's 21 CF78, 2017 CF 1595, and 20 CF 2270. I talked to the state this morning. Do we leave it for docket day for a plea?
Okay, so plea?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's 918, is that correct?
Correct.
The next case I have is Bamako Lanayan. It's 22 CF 2816.
Yes, ma'am.
On this case, we've been back and forth about this case, whether or not it was staying in state court or going federal. The state gave some more information, I believe, last week.
So, Judge, if you recall, we had been in a little bit of a holding pattern because we were trying to figure out whether or not the feds were taking this. And then last cycle, we decided we were done waiting and we were going to try to set these depositions. Well, we set the depositions with this defendant and the co-defendant, and then we get a notice from the feds that they are now taking the case and they will be filing. Once they file on it, then we'll go ahead and remove it off of our docket in the appropriate manner. That is expected to occur sometime in October. So that's where we're at.
So continue it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Continued until November 13th.
Your Honor, I represent the co-defendant Leslie Casey in 22 CF 2801. We filed a waiver of appearance from Mr. Casey, and we would just ask it to Mr. Casey.
To the state, any objection to that?
No objection, Your Honor. Yeah, all the co-defendants should track together on this.
Okay, it's continued. Yes, sir. Thanks, Mr. Klein. Ms. Dudley?
What is that date, Your Honor? I'm sorry. Is it
The
November?
18th, the next continuance is November 13th.
Yes, sir. The next I have is Sherbaeus Macklemore, 21 CF 3225, 22 CF 1164, 22 CF 1881, and 20 CF 3237. On this case, it was one where we were waiting for information from law enforcement. State had tried to get it. We kind of went back and forth. I ended up filing a motion to compel that's set for October 19th. I believe now they're saying they don't have any videos. The law enforcement says they don't have any videos, which is new information. The rest we're continuing to see if we can get depots set or see if we can get it resolved. It just kind of changes how we're going to go about the cases based on that.
Okay? Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. We've reached out multiple times to law enforcement. They have told us that they do not have any body cams for that particular case. We've kind of taken that into account. I think there's a possibility that we can resolve this before even that October date, but I think a one-cycle continuance will have it resolved by the end of the next cycle.
Okay. So it's continued one cycle.
Yes, sir. Next case I have is Brandon Murray. Your Honor, we're asking for a continuance on this. We're still looking at discovery and discussing with the state to see if we can get it worked out. Obviously, if we can, we'll move it up sooner.
Okay, so what are you going to do between now and November 13th?
Either set depots or get it resolved.
Okay.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, it's continued. Yes, ma'am. But I'm going to say trial next time, okay?
Yes, sir. Jeremy Peacock in 23 CF 505. Can we leave him set for docket day for P or C? We are hoping we can get that one worked out.
Okay. Why would you need the C part of that? the
We haven't
continuing?
done depositions. We're hoping we don't have to. We're hoping that we can just get it worked out on the docket day.
Okay.
If not, we'll have to set depositions. We're just trying to avoid that.
Okay, so plea or continue trial next time. Okay.
Next one is Johannes Radema. It's 23 CF 1547. It shows he's in jail. He is not in jail. He bonded out Saturday. I did file a waiver of appearance for him. We just got discovery, I believe, Friday. So that's for continuance.
Okay. Yes, ma'am, it's continued.
Next one I have is Andrew Scott, 23 CF 334. We have some more depositions set on Wednesday. I would actually leave it plea of continuance. Hopefully we can work it out. If not, I will have to get transcripts if we're going to have a trial. So we can just leave it for docket day and we can see where we are.
Okay, so plea continued, trial next time.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The last one I have is Quashawn Toomer. He is an inmate. I did speak with him. We're going to continue to the next pretrial. I just got on the case. Just got a discovery link last week. So he is aware we're going to continue it, and he's set for Thursday for a bond hearing.
Okay, so if you'll let the jail know, okay?
Yes, sir, I will.
Thank you, ma'am.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks, Ms. Dudley. Mr. Patel. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Judge. First case I have on the docket, Jay Patel and Tim Shaw on behalf of Brett Stephen Bay. Judge, if you recall, we had a motion to exclude a witness last month. It was continued to Thursday. I know and I don't really want to have a discussion because Ms. Davis isn't here to defend herself, but if we can keep that hearing on and apprise the court of some discussions, or rather, it may or may not have happened where that witness showed up to the state attorney's office. I didn't get any independent verification as to that. So if we can continue this case and then see you back on Thursday for the continuation of that motion.
Okay, yes, sir, it's continued. Is there any reason why it shouldn't be trial next time? That would be November 27th would be the trial.
You said November 27th?
Right.
Well, I think a lot of it's going to depend on if we can get that deposition done, but we hope to.
Okay. Okay, yes, sir, thank you.
Next, Judge Jay Patel on behalf of Sean Christopher McGonigal, 22 CF 1675. If the court recalls, the state and I had a terrible time trying to track down the alleged victim. The state has tracked him down. Mr. Gomez indicated that his office will serve the subpoena. This particular individual chooses to be homeless, so makes it challenging. So if we can continue that, and I'll set the deposition.
Okay, yes, sir.
Next, Judge Jay Patel and Tim Shaw on behalf of Brock Maurice Sutton, 22 CF 970. Depositions are set on October the 17th. If we can continue that.
No objection.
Sorry, I'm not over my paper. Okay, and I'm sorry, which case is that?
Brock Maurice Sutton.
Yes, sir. Okay, so a continuance?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, yes, sir.
Next, Judge Jay Patel on behalf of Elijah Knight Sutton, 22 CF 926. May I approach on that case and Mr. Tran's case?
Yes, sir. The state?
Hello, this is Chris Norman at Bulldog Bail Bonds. Our office is in Crestview, Florida, but we service 7 Northwest Florida counties. If you ever find yourself in a jam, please give us a call. We're here to help you out.
Congratulations, Crestview's very own Dixie Dan Powell of Powell Injury Law, for your recent jury verdict of $11.5 million for your client from a death and injury against an inflatable amusement company.
Records?
I believe we have.
Okay, so continued in trial next time.
The challenge that I'm having, Judge, right now is that internally, I have reached out to a number of the
Dan Powell
witnesses
works
that were there, and they're not really willing to cooperate. So I'm doing my best to get these depositions done, so if I could get some latitude, we may not be ready for trial next time.
I just know that I'm writing trial next time, okay?
Understood, Judge. I have nothing further. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Thanks, Mr. Patel.
Thank you.
Mr. Cotton. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor. Your Honor, for the record, Byron Cotton. The first case I have on your docket is going to be Gustavo Rejas Pedro de Costa. I think it's going to be under P for Pedro de Costa, Judge.
Yes, sir.
All right. Your Honor, I believe the state's going to have an announcement on that case. AJ. Pedro de Costa.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yes, Your Honor. At this time, the state's going to be announcing a dismissal of this case. The defendant's mother actually provided scripts that indicate that the medicine that was found was actually belonging to her. So at this time, we'd be dismissing this case.
So case number 23 CF 310 is dismissed.
Thank you. Your Honor, the next case I have is Richard Riddle.
Okay, let's just don't miss Sean McBay.
I'm sorry, Judge, I'm not in alphabetical order, I apologize, but that's fine. Mr. McVeigh. Your Honor, Mr. McVeigh is incarcerated in Walton County. Again, he has a case over there. I am attempting to get depo set on this case so that it doesn't just wait for that one to finish, but we haven't been able to get those completely scheduled yet, but we are working on that.
Okay, so continued.
Yes, sir, on that, please.
Yes, sir.
And Judge, I don't mind if you've got them in order that you want to go, that's fine to keep you on track.
Is it Reithmeyer?
Yes, Rethmeyer, Judge, I need a continuance on that, please. We've requested discovery, but we haven't received it yet. Is that yours?
Yes, no objection.
Yes, sir. It's
No
continued. Riddle?
Riddle, Your Honor.
Yes.
Okay, Your Honor, I believe the state's going to have an announcement on that. That's yours.
As they look at each other.
Okay.
She's not here. I have no response. We're on the docket day. That's all.
That's fine. Judge, I think after meeting with the state on this, we would like to leave this on for docket day. I think the state will either file a no process or there will be a dismissal on that date.
Okay. I'll just put plea continue for docket.
Yes, sir, that's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Turner?
Turner, yes, sir. I received discovery on 8/28 on that. I have not had an opportunity to get through it and meet with my client. I'd request a continuance on that case.
Yes, sir. It's continued.
Madam, I'm sorry, I did not catch our continuance date, Judge. I'm sorry.
It is November 13th.
Okay.
Walker?
Yes, sir. She's filed a waiver. She is incarcerated. Judge, we just completed some depositions on that case. In doing those depositions, new witnesses were uncovered. My office should be coordinating new deposition dates during this cycle to be able to try and bring that in. It's an older case, but we are working on depositions. The charges are significant, and it's just been difficult to get through the discovery.
So do you think it'll be ready for trial next cycle?
Judge, I would tell you that depends upon when I can get my depositions completed and coordinated with the state. What I would like to do is request a continuance, not have a hard trial date set, if you don't mind, on this one.
Yes,
but
sir.
I should be able to get this done in the next 2 cycles.
Okay, it's continued.
Thank you, Judge. Your Honor, I believe that's all I have on your docket.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Judge. Good to see you.
Good seeing you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gates?
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Gates.
Tomorrow, you got an update?
Okay, yes, sir.
Your Honor, the first case I have is Jeffrey Pybus, P-Y-B-U-S.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Pybus has federal charges pending. Ms. Barrickman and I have been monitoring that. I don't believe it's gone to trial yet, so it's just needs to be continued to the next November 13th date, and we'll advise the court what happens in the federal court.
That's correct, Judge. There's no objection.
It's continued.
Did you want me to go through?
Yes, sir, however you can.
Guy Santucci, S-A-N-T-U-C-C-I. There's a waiver on file. We took a round of depositions. There was one witness, an essential witness, that was not served, and we're rescheduling that deposition. So we'd ask for the November 13th court date and continue it till then.
Okay, will it be tried after that?
If the court says November 13th is the last one, then
Yes, sir.
yes, it will.
Okay, so it's continued in trial next time.
Yes, sir.
That is Santucci, S-A-N-T.
Yes, sir. Next one I have is Thomas Lowry. This is the first time up for Mr. Lowry,
Yes, sir.
and we'd ask for the November 13th court date.
Okay, it's continued.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Lowry.
Next is James Mabry, M-A-B-R-Y. If we could leave this set for docket day on the 18th, we're working towards a PTI resolution, and it'll be either a PTI or a continuance.
Okay, yes, sir.
The next case we have is Julio Ramos, and Mr. Ramos is in custody. We took
He's in
depositions last
custody in
week.
Okaloosa County?
He is.
Okay, so he'll be here at 1:30?
Okay. And next one I have is Kirk Reynolds. We took a round of depositions already. One witness was not served, and we would ask for a continuance on that. I talked with Ms. Davis about that case last week, and she has no objection to a continuance.
Okay, yes, sir, it's continued.
And then the last one I have
Is that one, is Kurt Reynolds, is it going to be trial next time? It's a 22 case?
Judge, I think it's going to be a dismissal, actually.
Okay.
So,
I'm gonna
but
put
if you
tr-
want to
I
put...
can't control the dismissal,
Right,
but I
but you
can
can...
control the trial.
Yes, sir.
Trial next time.
Okay.
Okay.
And then the last one I have is Tong Nguyen, Nguyen.
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Gomez and I have discussed that case, and I think we're asking for a continuance until November 13th.
Okay, what are you going to do in the next couple of months?
Take depositions if necessary. Mr. Gomez has not been able to look at it yet, so
Okay.
we could leave it for docket day, but I don't think Mr. Gomez is going to have time to do that.
We'll just continue it. Yes, sir.
That's all I have.
Thanks, Mr.
Thank you.
Gay. Next is Mr. Cobb.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Cobb.
Yeah.
Because he has order.
Judge, do you want me to do the inmate cases in the afternoon? If they're going to be continued, I have some that are going to be continued, but I don't know if we handle them now or in the afternoon.
Well, it depends on whether you have talked to your clients and they agree to it. They have the right to be here. Are you waiving them being here? But more important than waiving them being here is, do they agree to the continuance? Are they up to speed? If they're not, then I want them here.
Yeah, I'll just do it this afternoon.
Okay.
So I'll
Yes, sir.
take care of the ones I don't have incarcerated.
Yes, sir.
The first one would be Crystal Perez. She's here today. I believe the state has an announcement in that case. It's 2015 CF 1105.
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, the state is going to be announcing a dismissal of this case based on
Wait,
the
you've
fact
got I'm sorry. What's the case number?
2000, I might have written it down wrong when I
I
typed
believe
it.
it's 22 CF
Yeah.
2285.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Okay, that'll do
2285.
it. Okay?
At this time, the state's going to be announcing a dismissal of the case. We received the death certificate, unfortunately, of the victim in this case, so the victim has been deceased. Given that, we cannot move forward, and we'll be announcing a dismissal.
Okay, the case is dismissed.
Thank you. The next case I have is Raymond Morgan. Mr. Morgan?
Raymond Morgan? Raymond Lewis Morgan, Jr.?
Yeah. I spoke with him last week twice. The state's insinuated or told me that they would see if he qualifies for drug court. And I talked to him and told him he needed to make the decision whether he wanted to go through the drug court or continue with the charges as is. And
So you were in contact with him late last week?
yeah, and he said, I'm going to think about it. He knew about today, but he's always been here.
Okay.
Could I put it on Monday's docket
We'll
for
put
like
it,
a
yes, sir.
soft date to see if he's going to do that?
We'll set it for docket day. If he fails to be here, then I'll issue a summons for him. Or-
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I understand.
Thank you.
All right, the rest of mine are inmates. I'll take care of those this afternoon.
Sounds good.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Judge.
Mr. Cobb. Mr. Schweitek. Good morning, sir.
Morning, Your Honor. All right, I've got three cases. Timothy Regan, 22 CF 2901 and 22 CF 1648.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Davis and I are working on a plea on that, but I'm not going to be available to go on docket day.
Okay, so do you want to do it this Thursday?
Now, I'm getting on a plane for France on Wednesday for 2
Okay,
days.
What about October 9th?
That'd be fine, Judge.
Okay, so a plea on October 9th. And Madam Clerk, why don't we just continue it, the underlying case, and then just set it for a plea on October 9th? Yes, ma'am, at 9.
Next is Ernest Machino, 22 CF 1486.
Yes, sir.
Likewise, working on a plea on that, and Mr. Gomez is trying to get the victim's approval.
Everyone, please
So,
check your cell phones, make sure they're turned off or on silent.
October 9th as well.
Well, we're going to go to trial if you don't resolve it before the trial date on September 26th.
Oh, could I appear by Zoom, Judge?
Are you going to be here the week after that, October 2nd?
I'm going to be gone Wednesday through the 29th.
Okay, so then we could try your case on the second week, October 2nd.
Okay.
So October 2nd, so you're not going to have we're not going to have a docket day, we're just going to go straight to trial on October 2nd?
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to get me jury instructions, you're going to work with the state before that. How many do you want on the venire?
Probably.
Just the standard amount.
22? Okay. Okay, yes, sir.
Next, Fernando Gonzalez Suenque, 2016 CF 804.
Yes, sir.
We'd like to set that for trial as well on October 2nd.
Suente?
C-U-E-N-C-A.
Thank you. Okay. Okay. Tell me the case number again?
2016 CF 804.
Okay, and what are we doing with that case?
Trial on October 2nd.
Okay. And how many do you want on the venire?
Standard amount, Judge.
22?
I don't think it'll be necessary, honestly, but if I can address the court on his case, this was a 2016 case. He was arrested and incarcerated in the jail. There was a $2,000 cash or professional bond, which he paid cash. He paid cash at 11 o'clock in the morning. By 3 o'clock, ICE had picked him up, and he was subsequently deported. So I filed a motion to set aside the estricture on that case. And the court at that time, if we look at the clerk's minute sheet.
Okay, Mr. Switek, we got a courtroom full of folks.
Yep.
You're going to trial on October 2nd?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. If you want to set a hearing before that date, and we want to talk about things, file a motion, talk to the state, and we'll do it.
Okay, the motion has been filed.
Okay. Just need to get it set.
Yes, I had asked, it's listed under Noah Lalco as the state attorney, but he's not here this morning. I'd written to him to see if he minded hearing it this morning, but...
Nope, not with 500 people, or 300 people on the docket, not going to be today.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Mr. Flaherty. Good morning, sir.
Morning, Roger. First case I have, Tim Flaherty appearing on behalf of Toriano Marsh. Mr. Marsh is present this morning.
Good. Hello, Mr. Marsh. Good, how are you?
We'd like to leave this case set for trial, Judge.
Okay. If the state and Mr. Marsh and Mr. Flaherty, if you'll approach. So I'll see you Monday at 9 o'clock. Thank you, sir.
And Judge, if it's okay, I'm going to go down the list of the cases that are under my name, and then Ms. Merrifield has some that are under her name. But the next one under my name is State versus James Mendez.
Yes, sir.
We do have a waiver on file for Mr. Mendez. We're going to request a continuance in this case, Judge. We have reached out to the state on this case. However, I do believe the prosecutor was out of town for an extended period of time. We did email her back on the 1st of September. So we are trying to work towards a resolution.
Okay, it's continued. Yes, sir.
Next case is Jose Nolasco Benitez. We do have a waiver on file. Judge, we have some language barrier issues in this case. There's also an issue that we're researching with the Miranda warning that was given and the translation of that warning. We need a little bit more time to review that and explore a possible motion issue. So we are requesting a continuance in that case. It's been continued one prior time.
Okay. Yes, sir. It's continued and trial next time.
Next is State versus Jeffrey Pacouche. Waiver on file for Mr. Pacouche. And we have one case for Mr. Pacouche under my name and then another one under Ms. Merrifield's name. So there should be 23 CF 869 and then 23 CF 1210. On my case, it's the second time up. On Ms. Merrifield's, it's the first time up, but we are requesting a continuance, Judge. He is undergoing court-ordered mental health evaluations with Cornerstone, and we are undergoing that process.
Okay. Yes, sir. It's continued.
Next is State versus Christian Rodriguez. And Judge, I do apologize for all the continuance requests. We were retained on this case right before the last pretrial. We have received discovery. We have begun our review of the discovery, but we do need time to continue that review and then get depositions set. So I do think maybe one final continuance on that, and then we can at least announce to the court whether it's going to be a plea or a trial.
Okay. It's continued.
Next is State versus Blake Sanford. Waiver on file for Mr. Sanford. This case has been continued several times, Judge. We did have depositions in the case. The state had indicated that they needed a little more time to get some medical records and some other information from the alleged victim, and then they anticipate making a plea offer. I do believe they were requesting additional time on the continuance, or else we could just set it for plea or continuance at docket day, whatever the court prefers.
Okay. To the state.
We'd prefer to set it P or C at docket day, so Ms. Davis can review.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Next is State versus Samantha Simmons. Waiver on file from Ms. Simmons. First time up on that case, Judge. Still waiting on some discovery.
Okay. Yes, sir. It's continued.
Next is State versus Cesar Urbina Garcia. Waiver on file. First time up on this case, Judge. If we could continue it.
For discovery.
Yes, Your Honor, and I do believe we're going to resolve this with a DPA, but we need to work out the details, so.
Okay. It's continued.
Thanks. Next is State versus Zachary Ward. Waiver on file for Mr. Ward. There's been one previous continuance in this case, Judge. There is an extensive amount of discovery that we're still undergoing. If we could have another continuance in that case.
Yes, sir. It's continued.
And the last case under my name is State versus Stephen Williamson.
Okay. What happened to Simon Ward?
My understanding, Judge, is that case was continued prior to today.
Okay. Thank you.
And then on Stephen Williamson, we do have a waiver on file for Mr. Williamson. It's the first time up on that case, Judge, still waiting on some discovery. Request a continuance.
Objection.
Okay, it's continued.
And I believe those are all the cases under my name, Judge. Thank you.
Yes, sir, then you have, you want to do, oh, you got Ms. Merrifield here.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Good
Thank
to
you,
see you,
sir.
Judge. Thank you.
Yes, sir, thank you.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, ma'am.
Brandy Merrifield on behalf of Michael Levins and 23 CF 1168. There is a waiver on file. It's the first time up for this case. I have spoken with ASA Gomez, and we are working towards a resolution. However, we'd like to continue this case so that we can continue those discussions.
Okay,
And
yes,
that was
ma'am.
Mr.
It's-
Levins.
Right, it's continued.
Mr. Flaherty addressed Mr. Pacouche. The next case I have is Jacob Scheib, 23 CF 1347. This is a first time up. There is a waiver on file. Mr. Scheib has an additional case that was filed after this one, so we are still in the discovery collection phase. I have spoken with ASA Davis about this. We're working on things, but there is some additional discovery that we both need to obtain, so I'd request a continuance.
Yes, ma'am, it's continued.
And then the final case that I have, Judge, is Ronald Walker in 23 CF 967. There's a waiver on file. It's the second time up for Mr. Walker. He is being evaluated for vet court and recently returned from treatment, and I have not had an opportunity to address his multiple cases. If we could continue this one, it's possible that this one may fall off your docket before the next cycle.
Okay, it's continued, yes, ma'am.
And I believe that's all I have, Judge.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Mr. Arrowood.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Arrowood.
Judge, I have been in contact with my clients and the state. My clients have waivers on file, and they have agreed to the contingency if the court allows it.
Yes, sir.
The first one is a Marie Odom, 22 CF 1455. Judge, she's been offered mental health court. If we can just continue that, see if we can get her into that.
Okay, it's continued.
Jonathan Odom, 2022 CF
Okay,
31.
wait, let's go back to Marie Odom. When I see it's a 22 case.
There's
If
also,
she's-
there's also a new 23 case as well, Your Honor. I think that's the only reason why it's taking a little bit.
Okay, then that makes sense. It's continued, yes, sir.
The next one is a Jonathan Odom, 2022 CF 3151 in 2018.
Yes, sir.
He was offered at one time the vet court, and I think if we can continue it, we're going to try to get him into vet court. The state has no objection to that, Your Honor.
That's correct, Your Honor. We've discussed, and I think vet court is what we're going to be trying to do in that case.
Okay, it's continued.
Pillar Spillman, 2023 CF 1529.
Yes, sir.
Judge, this is the first time up for this case. It's an embezzlement case. I just received the discovery, so I'm going to need some time to go through all the discovery for that.
Yes, sir, it's continued.
The last one I have before this court is a Paris Pryor, 2023 CF 95. Judge, because of my absence for a little bit and now getting back on this case, I would ask to continue it. We may have to set depositions in this case, but hopefully it won't be much longer to bring it in.
Okay, it's continued, yes, sir.
And that's all I have. I'll be excused.
Thanks, Mr. Irwin.
Thank you.
Ms. Delhaas?
Good morning.
Good morning,
Your Honor.
ma'am.
Susan Delbosque on behalf of Ashley Vasquez. I've been working with Ms. Davis on this, so we would like to come back at 1:30 when she'll be here so I could discuss with her, if that's okay?
Yes, ma'am. So we're just passing it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
We'll see you at 1:30.
Yes, ma'am. See you then. Mr. Garrett?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning, Mr. Garrett.
Your Honor, there are waivers on file for my clients today.
Thank you.
First, I have Chris Garrett on behalf of Joseph Dukes, 21 CF 1593. May the state and I approach on this case?
Yes, sir.
We serve handmade pastries, espresso, and lunch items, and we're open Tuesday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., serving lunch from 11 to 2. We hope to see you soon.
Hello, I am Bonnie from Body Be Healthy here in Crestview. We have been serving the area since 1999. We're an alternative health food store. If you're interested in bettering your health, we'd like to invite you to stop by. We're located in Court Plaza. Stop by and let us help you be healthy.
Continued and trial next time.
Thank you, Your Honor, and I apologize. What was that pretrial court date?
It is November 13th.
Thank you, Your Honor. And then I have Chris Garrett on behalf of Toy La Roca, 23 CF 573 and 21 CF 1251. Your Honor, Ms. La Roca has a new charge that is not on today's docket. It's very recent. I've been discussing this with the state. We'd ask for a continuance to the pretrial. In addition, we're still awaiting some video of her interview with a Special Agent Chelsea Aztec, whose information I don't have to schedule a deposition, but there should be a video that we have not received.
Okay, it's continued.
Thank you, Your Honor. Chris Garrett on behalf of Brandon Mallon, 23 CF 421. The state has offered a PTI today. If we could leave this case set for docket day for plea to continue.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that's next Monday?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Then Chris Garrett on behalf of Ryan Martin, 23 CF 543. We received an amended offer in this case. If we could leave Mr. Martin's case set for docket day for plea to continue.
Okay. Why would it need the continuance portion of that if it's not resolved? What do you need to do for the next couple months?
Your Honor, really just to discuss the case with Mr. Martin. I don't believe we're missing any discovery, and I had been researching a motion to suppress that did not pan out. So other than not wanting to catch him by surprise and saying, hey, we're going to plea in a week, we would just request the continuance in case we need it.
I'm going to set it for a plea or trial.
Understood, Your Honor. And then Chris Garrett on behalf of Felicita Mickelson, 23 CF 1377. Your Honor, I've been discussing this case with the state. We have not quite received an offer, but we would expect that very shortly. We'd request a continuance to the pretrial.
Well, just to clarify, it's going to be a PTI. We just have to get the paperwork over to him.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Then so do you want it?
That was on Bridget. I just want to make sure that was on Bridget Massawi, right?
Felicita Mickelson.
Sorry. No, I misspoke. I apologize, Your Honor.
Okay, so on Felicita's case, it's going to be, is it plea continue or is it a continuance?
At this point, Your Honor, I think it'd be most efficient to just do a continuance because the state needs to speak with the alleged victim in this case.
Okay, it's continued, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. And, Your Honor, I believe the public defender also had filed notices on Ms. Mickelson's case. I'll be sure and get a waiver or substitution of counsel filed if one hasn't been filed already.
Who is this?
Felicita Mickelson.
Oh, yes, I believe we just filed a motion to withdraw.
Did you? Okay, perfect.
Mickelson?
Yes.
M-I-C-H-E-L-S-O-N?
Yes. 23 CF 1377.
So, Your Honor, it looks like we have submitted a proposed order. Relieving the public defender, that looks like it was submitted by September 8th.
Okay.
The only reason I remember that is because I remember seeing, I thought it was a withdrawal.
So Friday, and I haven't seen that proposed order. I looked at my queue this morning.
We'll resend it.
Okay.
Then, Your Honor, Chris Garrett on behalf of Bridget Mazzowi, 22 CF 3103. Your Honor, this is the case with the PTI agreement that is pending. If we could leave this set for docket day for plea to continue.
Okay, and I had said trial last time.
I apologize, Your Honor.
Trial, Your Honor.
Yes. I apologize, Your Honor. That was
So
I misspoke.
plea trial. Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. And we will get that resolved before trial. Then Chris Garrett on behalf of Eduardo Rosales Zelaya, 22 CF 2490. Your Honor, I had received a hypothetical amended offer from Ms. Jones. If we could leave this case set for docket day for a plea to continue. The only other complication is I've been trying to get in touch with his immigration attorney about what this amended offer might do to him. Haven't been able to make contact with her yet. That's the only reason why we would ask for the continuance.
Yes, sir. So plea continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. Then Chris Garrett on behalf of William Union, 23 CF 770. The state had offered to amend this charge to a misdemeanor. If we could leave this set for docket day for plea to continue.
Okay, it's plea continue, yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Then Chris Garrett on behalf of Colin Weaver Johnson, 22 CF 2537. Your Honor, this is going to be a PTI. We're just finalizing the terms. If we could leave this set for docket day, plea to continue.
Okay, his last name is Johnson?
It's Weaver Johnson.
Hey.
Your Honor, the case number is 22 CF 2537.
Yes, sir. So what are you seeking to do on that?
Your Honor, we're in the final stages of working out a PTI agreement.
And that's what we talked about a couple of months ago
It is, Your Honor.
and said trial this time. So is it going to be plea trial on Monday?
Your Honor, I don't at all think he wants a trial. If it were to come to that, we're still technically missing.
Who's this?
Colin Weaver Johnson. And Your Honor, he wants to take the PTI. We just needed to finalize a couple of him getting credit for things, make sure the contract made sense.
Tell him he needs to work it out before next Monday because it'll be plea trial.
Understood, Your Honor. And then finally, Chris Garrett on behalf of John Welchel, 22 CF 2633. We are requesting a continuance in this case. I've been discussing some motions with the state. This would be the agreed upon final continuance, and unless we can work something out, I very much would anticipate this being a trial next cycle.
Okay, you talked about motions last time. Why didn't you set those?
Your Honor, I had sent them to the state. We've been negotiating them. In addition, what's been going on is that my main assistant who does all the filing, her mother was moved into hospice last week, and there's some things that just...
So continuance trial next time.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Garrett, what was the name again?
Welchel?
Welchel?
Yeah, W-H-U.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I believe that's all I have, Your Honor.
There you go.
And I had looked and didn't see her on the docket. I know Ms. Jones had sent me an email about her, and I think that was going to be a PTI. Yeah, this is going to be a PTI. Could we set that for docket day? Please continue.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
And I believe that's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't see Mr. McKinney back. Okay, Mr. McKinney, no, that's Mr. McKevich's. Mr. McKinney, do you want to try to do Miss Ursula if she can hear us?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good.
I believe she should be able to hear us
Mr.
now.
McKevich's, I'll call you next. She was just here at 8:15 this morning, okay? Yes, ma'am, good morning.
Good morning.
Judge Jason McKinney for Tiffany Ursula and 23 CF 1569. This is a new case. I am still awaiting discovery from the state. I'm going to request a continuance until the next available pretrial date. For Ms. Ursula, do you have my contact information?
We're going to reschedule for a pre-trial date?
Correct. Do you have my contact information?
Yes, I have your contact information.
Okay. And we would need to schedule a phone appointment ahead of that next court date.
Okay. Ms. Ursula, so make sure that you stay in touch with your attorney, okay? He can't help you if you don't stay with him. And I will see you back here on November 13th at 9 o'clock, okay?
Yes,
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Judge, may I call Stephen Zamora, who I see on Zoom?
Okay, yes, sir.
Judge, Mr. Stephen Zamora is on Zoom in 23 CF 1203. The understanding is I believe this is going to work out as a misdemeanor. I'd like to set this on docket day, plea or continue, for hopefully entry of that misdemeanor plea.
Okay, is Mr. Zamora going to be here live?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Zamora, I will see you back here Monday at 9 o'clock, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, Mr. McKevich's.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Joseph McKevich's for the record on behalf of Cecilia Walker. That's case number 23 CF 1570.
Yes, sir.
And, Your Honor, I'm waiting for a response from Ms. Davis regarding pretrial intervention on this case. I know that she's out. Was hoping to set this next Monday and see if I might be able to get it worked out by then.
Okay, so plea continue?
Yes, please.
You got it.
Thank you. Next case I have on the docket is State of Florida versus Longenecker. That's 23 CF 1230. And I'm waiting on an offer from the state to discuss with the client. I believe this is the first time up. I'd like to have it set also Monday for clear continuance, so hopefully we'll be able to work something out.
Okay, yes, sir.
And just for the record, Mr. Metavicius, the offer was sent to you in discovery, but also I sent you an email of the guidelines, just the guidelines offer of 15.45 months in the Department of Corrections.
When did you send that email?
The email was sent like literally this morning, but the discovery was sent like.
Great. I'll look at it and talk about it with Mr. Longenecker, and perhaps we can resolve it on Monday.
Okay.
The third case I have on the docket is State of Florida versus Rincon Jr. It's 23 CF 1492. In communication with Ms. Davis about this, looks like we might be close to a resolution, so keep this on Monday as well. Plea or continue if possible.
Yes, sir. Good.
That's all I have today.
Thank you, sir.
Have a nice day.
Yes, sir. You too. Mr. Flowers.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, sir.
Judge, I see on the docket Adam McCraney, but I believe he'll be on the 1:30 docket as he is in the Okaloosa County Jail.
Okay, yes, sir.
We'll see back then. Would that be the court's preference?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Next matter, McGahee Mulholland. Your Honor, we've been sent a pretrial intervention agreement, which he's going to execute this week. So from a scheduling standpoint, if we left it on, we'll have that filed with the court before the end of this week.
That's McCraney?
Yes, sir.
No, that's McGahee.
No, McGahee, McGahee
Mulholland.
Mulholland, a hyphenated name, Judge.
Gotcha.
Actually, it's been filed.
It had, very well.
Okay,
We knew we were working on it.
So is that going to
That
fall
case
off the
should be
docket?
off the docket, yeah.
It's in the system, so.
Very well.
Great.
It's on my docket out of an abundance of caution. I didn't know that we had filed it yet.
Good.
The next matter that I show is Overman. Judge, we have deposition set for October 23rd on this matter. We're asking that the case be continued to the next date after that.
Yes, sir. So it's continued until November 13th.
Thank you, Judge. Next matter, Richard Starr. Judge, we're in the same position. There is discovery we've not received yet. We're talking with the state. Our client's in constant contact. We're asking for November 13th. Likewise on Mr. Starr from a discovery standpoint. I don't know that we have it all.
No objection.
Yeah.
Okay, last time we spoke, you said there was new discovery received. So there was additional discovery after that?
Yes, sir. That's the case. Yes, sir.
Okay, it's continued.
Thank you. Judge, the next matter is Weisberg. Now, this is a relatively new case. Certainly, discovery, it may not even be due yet. We're asking for November 13th, and quite confident that with Ms. Davis, there's no objection. This is a new case, Judge.
Yes, sir, it's continued.
There's another matter, Judge, that out of an abundance of caution should be on your docket, Nicomito.
I don't see Nicomito.
Madam
Clerk, do you have it?
I'm just making sure, Judge.
Right. I had McCraney, but that may have been...
Yes, sir. That being the case. Oh, look
McCraney's
under
the end.
Dyram.
Okay.
It might be under Dyram.
Okay.
Judge,
Yes, sir.
may we approach on Nicomito on that matter, please?
Yes, sir.
I'm Amanda Gaskin with Briarpatch Realty. Helping qualified heroes save money is my passion. When I help a hero buy or sell a home, they receive a check from Homes for Heroes. Check out amandasheroes.com for more information.
For more than 70 years, the sweet aroma of the Crestview Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs has permeated the downtown area. If you have not experienced the unique flavor of Crestview's Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs, then I encourage you to join us for lunch. Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m., Friday from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m., and Saturday from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. We're located in historic downtown Crestview at 107 North Main Street. Call 850-683-1045.
CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer since 1999. We're state licensed and insured, family owned and operated with 24 years of local service. We specialize in shingles and metal, re-roofs, repairs, and leak specialists. For all of your roofing needs, call us today or visit our website at cqroofing.com.
That's all the matters that I have before you until 1:30 this afternoon. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Shaw.
Morning, Judge. Tim Shaw. First case I'd like to handle, if I may, is for Brad Johnson, who is unable to be here today. His client is Brian Dean Howard, Howard.
Okay, which Mr. Johnson?
Brad Johnson, Brian Dean Howard.
Good, yes, sir.
He sent me very detailed information on this. He's asked, or he's indicated that the depots had originally been delayed because the FDLE didn't provide some discovery to the state. Then when it was set, the depositions had to be rescheduled because the FDLE officer was out of the country on some type of training. They are now set for November 7th, so he had asked for the November 13th date.
Okay. Yes, sir, it's continued.
Okay. Thank you, Judge. As for the cases that I'm listed under, Judge, is Haley Diane Hare, Haire. We have the last round of depots set 10/17 of 23. As the court may recall, we've had multiple rounds of depositions in this case. Some where law enforcement officers didn't show up because they were out for training and things like that. I believe we have them all ready to go for October 17th, so November 13th would be the date we'd ask for.
Okay, yes, sir, it's continued.
Marcus Lee Lane. Marcus?
Hello, Mr. Lane.
How you doing, sir?
Good, how are you?
Judge, depots were completed after the last pretrial. The state and I have been making progress towards a resolution. We'd like to leave it set on Monday for plea or continuance.
Okay, why shouldn't it be plea trial?
If the state's ready, Judge, we could do that.
Okay.
I think, yeah, we can leave it for plea trial.
Okay. Mr. Lane, I'll see you on Monday. If it's not resolved then we'll be looking at going to trial a couple weeks after that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Next case, Judge, is Joshua Lee Lopez, 23 CF 474. Depots are currently set for 10/24 of 23. I think we could leave it set for Monday in case an offer is made and we could get it resolved on that date, if that's agreeable.
It's up to you.
Let's leave it set for Monday. I'd like to try to settle it.
We continue?
Yes, Judge.
Yes, sir. And then your client's appearance is waived if you're not entering the plea.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate that. Next case, Judge, is James David Mills. There are two case numbers, 22 CF 1987, 23 CF 1193. Depots are set for November 1st and November 2nd. He is incarcerated, of course, Judge. I've talked to him. He understands that these cases are kind of tracking together now and that we would like to put him on November 13th.
Okay, it's continued. He's incarcerated here in Okaloosa?
That's right, Your
Will
Honor.
you let the jail know he doesn't need to be here this afternoon?
I talked to them last week and asked them to take him off the list already, but I'll follow up and make sure they did.
Thank you.
Next case is John Brooks O'Neill, 23 CF 1121. I am attempting to obtain the medical records for my client to provide to this state as reciprocal discovery. If we could put it on for November 13th, that would be, I think, appropriate.
Yes, sir, it's continued.
Darren Michael Plate, that's 23 CF 348. Mr. Plate's currently in the hospital. We would ask, let's put it on for Monday for plea or continuance, just in case we can get some kind of resolution done to it.
Okay, yes, sir. Please continue.
Next case is Katrina Fury. Katrina?
Hello, Ms. Peary.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, ma'am.
How are you?
Doing
Judge,
well. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Judge, as the court's aware, we've had multiple hearings and trying to get discovery in the case. I think we've got pretty much everything at this point. There's one more round of depots that have to be set out of county. We would ask to continue that a cycle. If it's my understanding that Ms. Basso is going to be reaching out this afternoon with a potential offer. And if we get that, can we put it on for Monday if it's something that's acceptable?
Yes, sir. So you want plea continue?
Let's do plea or continuance with a waiver of her appearance if she doesn't.
Okay, yes, sir. So plea continue, and I'm putting trial next time. Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Hopefully I'll see you on Monday. If
I
not,
will
then I'll
be.
see you on September 13th, and we'll be looking at going to trial in November.
November 13th.
I will be here, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Sheena Marie Russell, Your Honor, this is being prosecuted out of Pensacola with ASA Gillespie. I'm not sure if he's...
Yes, Judge.
Hello, Mr. Gillespie. Mr. Gillespie, remind me in the future that you're there, and we can take your cases sooner than later, okay?
All right, thank you, Judge.
Just pipe up next time and say, Judge, I'm here. Okay? Good, thank you. Yes, sir.
Judge, Mr. Flowers had taken depots on this case. It's my understanding, and Mr. Gillespie can correct me if I'm wrong, the alleged victim has been physically unable to provide her deposition. And so I don't know if we want to continue it to November 13th.
Judge, I've requested joint continuance. I know it's an older case. It's a significant amount of money. We're still looking through a lot of the records. I can tell you from the state's end, we've identified a new witness, Doris Taylor. I think that was mentioned last time. We're setting up a meeting to speak with her. There are depots that we attended with the elder victim out of state, but I don't believe she's going to be able to testify. The joint continuance, I think, would be proper. I'd like to get with defense and judge and see if we can set some dates certain in the near future to try this or resolve this, but I don't think it's going to happen this cycle.
Okay, what if I say continued and then trial next cycle?
The next cycle, is it November?
November 27th, yes, sir.
Let's anticipate to do that. I don't think it's going to happen then, Judge, that I'll be frank with you.
Okay, let me just do, I'll just say a continuance, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I don't mean to interject, but I have Mr. Gillespie on one case also, so.
Yes, sir.
What Mr. Shaw's done, if we can address Mr.
Yes, sir.
Gillespie's-
That'd be good.
Next case I have, Your Honor, is Sucom is the last name, first name Juthatap.
Yes, sir.
This case, I'd like to leave set without. The state just made an offer that I need to discuss with Mr. Sucom. So if we can leave it set for Monday, plea or continuance trial in November.
Okay, plea continue, trial next time, yes, sir.
And then I have Shinley Tan, T-A-N, 23 CF 1319. Judge, that's a new case. We're asking for a continuance and trying to set depositions on that.
Yes, sir, it's continued.
And that's all I had, Judge. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Kleins?
Yes, Your Honor. I have Scott Neal.
Mr. Neal is present in 22 CF 586. Your Honor, I spoke with Mr. Neal yesterday. We have 3 depositions that we need to take, and then I believe the case will be ready for trial. That'd be Randy Warden, Lisa Entz, and Elise Reddy. I do anticipate probably getting these resolved, anticipate getting the depositions taken prior to the November 13th date. But based on that, I would ask the court for a 1-cycle continuance, anticipation of trial next cycle.
Okay, so you want continuance trial next cycle?
I anticipate being ready for trial next cycle.
Okay.
I never want to commit my future self to something. I don't know what might happen in between, but.
Okay, Mr. Gillespie?
I have no objection, and just for Mr. Klein's knowledge, I've had what looks like 6 other interviews that we've conducted, and I'm anticipating a lot of charts on the 6 bank accounts and the 3 debit cards.
Understood.
No objection to continuance.
In this, Your Honor, if this case goes to trial, I do anticipate this is going to be a pretty document-heavy type, showing juries a bunch of things, so.
I understand. Mr. Meal, I'll see you back here on November 13th, so I'm continuing your case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
I got those emails.
Thank you, Judge. I think that concludes everything. I appreciate you allowing me to appear via Zoom.
Thanks, Mr. Gillespie. Mr. Durrell. Good morning, sir.
May it please the court, Dustin Durrell. Your Honor, my first client today is Mr. Brian Langley. We have received discovery in this matter. I am still reviewing it. Would request a continuance to continue reviewing that discovery, and most likely going to have to set depositions in this matter, Your Honor.
Okay. Yes, sir, it's continued.
And I'm sorry, what were those dates, Your Honor? November, what was it?
November 13th, and the docket day is November 20th, and jury reviews November 22nd. Trial is November 27th.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, next is Mr. Michael Lewis. Your Honor, this is the case we were having issues with the video and search warrant. I did receive a link for the videos this past week. I have not had a chance to download and see if it's everything, and as far as I'm aware, we're still working on the search warrant.
We're working on getting the search warrant. It's sealed, we believe, so we're working on getting that from law enforcement.
Okay.
I did file a motion to compel, Your Honor. I haven't left it set because I know we were trying to work things out. I don't know if we want to set that just for the purpose of the search warrant, so we have a date certain, or?
That's fine.
I mean, I would think so, yes, sir. So let's just continue the underlying case and your motion to compel. Madam Clerk, what looks good? October 9th, 12th, October 12th?
One set in the morning so far.
Okay, and unless you want to do it on September 21st.
The state would request the 12th just to give us a little bit of time.
Okay, October 12th, and that would be at 2:30.
At 2:30?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Your Honor, next is Mr. Aaron Mann. This was a PTI offer. I just got the signed PTI back from Mr. Mann this last Friday. I need to send that to the state for signatures, and we can get the original to Ms. Ferris and get Mr. Mann started on the PTI program.
Okay.
If we want to leave it set for Monday, I'm hoping to have everything done. The only issue is Mr. Mann is currently out of state, so I don't know if he'll be able to meet with Ms. Ferris by then, but we can at least set it to make sure we get all the signatures on it if you would like, Your Honor.
Good. Yes, sir. Let's do plea continue. Last time I had said trial, but with a PTI, plea continue, or should I do plea trial?
It is a PTI. If you want to do plea trial, you can, Your Honor.
Okay, let's do that.
Yes, Your Honor.
Plea trial. Thank you. Sorry.
And Your Honor, next is Mr. Lenore Minardo. This is 22 CF 1232. I was speaking with Mr. Gomez over the weekend. I have a amended offer from the state if we can leave him set for plea continue so I can discuss that with him.
Okay, last time I said trial next time, so it's plea trial.
Plea trial?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. And our next is Ms. Santa Martinez. Your Honor, if we may have a continuance of Ms. Martinez, I know I need to discuss some of the discovery with her, and she has recently moved to Texas as well, Your Honor, so getting up with her has been a little difficult. She has been returning phone calls. It's just the not having her come in the office to sit down. Would request a continuance on this matter.
Okay, is there additional discovery you need, or you just need to communicate with you?
I believe I have everything right now, Your Honor.
Okay, so it's continued in trial next time.
Yes, Your Honor. Next, Your Honor, is Mr. Aaron Nano. Your Honor, this one is fairly serious charges. I've been in constant negotiations with the state. We're still trying to resolve this matter. I know it's getting rather long in the tooth. Honestly, I would request a continuance just because there's so much on this one to make sure we have enough time to prepare. And if we fail to reach a resolution on this one, is 100% trial next cycle. It's just a matter of getting all the depositions together, making sure we have everything ready to go. There's quite a bit of video I need to come back through and redact potentially. I don't think we'll be ready for trial this cycle. But
To the state, do you want to try it this cycle or next cycle?
The state already is aware of a few pretty intensive trials for us, so we would have no objection to trying it next cycle, but we would just want a hard date on that next cycle.
100% agree, Your Honor.
And there is some logistical issues as well with the victim. We're going to be needing to get him from incarceration.
Okay, so do you want it just a continuance and then trial next time?
Yes, Your
Okay.
Honor.
You got it.
And that is final. Mr. Pate is incarcerated. Mr. Simpler is incarcerated. I believe that's all I have, Your Honor.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Drell.
Right. Thank you very much.
Mr. Madden. Good morning, Mr. Madden.
Good morning, Your Honor. John Madden here. I've got two cases on your docket. The first one is Manuel Mancia Solorzano, 23 CF 877.
Yes, sir.
And Judge, I'm asking for a continuance in that case for two reasons. One, there still is some outstanding discovery that I have not received from the state at this point. And two, there's been a little bit of a breakdown in communication between me and my client. And so I need some time to reestablish that with him before going forward on the case.
Okay, so I'm going to set it for a plea continue, and your client needs to be here on Monday.
Understood.
Okay? Physically needs to be here, not just Zoom. Okay?
Understood, Your Honor.
Okay.
Oh, what time do you have court on Monday, Judge?
9 o'clock.
I've got a family law final hearing. Let me just make sure that's not
Okay.
going to coincide with them. And that's the 18th.
Yes, sir.
I've got a final hearing at 10:15, Judge. Is there any chance I could get a later court date, or? I mean, I can be here at 9 o'clock if the judge wants me to. I'll make it happen.
We will take you first at 9, and it sounds like it may be very short. I just want to, but if you need more time to communicate with your client, you want to do it a week from Thursday? Why don't we schedule the docket day?
What date is that, Your Honor?
Okay, the 21st?
9 would be great.
Okay.
9 on the 21st.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
the,
I appreciate it, Judge.
Docket day will be then. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
And my second case, Your Honor, is Jackson Spa, 23 CF 1303. Your Honor, there's still, and this is a case that Ms. Davis has, and I know she's not here this morning, but there's some outstanding discovery I'm waiting for in that case as well from the state, and then I need to set some depositions in that one. So if I could get a full continuance for that case to get all that coordinated.
Yes, sir. It's continued.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. And
Thank
that's
you,
all
sir.
I have. I'll be excused.
Thanks, Mr. Madden.
It's good seeing you, Judge.
Good seeing you. Mr. Powell.
I got 4 cases, but 3 of them are inmates, so.
Okay.
No way appear by Zoom on those, is there, Judge, or?
For you to appear by Zoom? Yes,
Can
sir,
you?
that'd be fine.
Oh, great. Thank you, Judge. And I got Eric Paget as a waiver on file, 23 CF 1233. We'd like to continue. It's first time up. We've got to take some depositions. If what I know about the facts, if that's correct, then this case will go away, but we got to take some depositions.
Okay, that's on Paget?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, sir, it's continued.
Thanks, Judge. That's all I have. I appreciate you letting me appear
Yes, sir.
by Zoom.
Thank you. Mr. Catalinic.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir.
Judge, I have one case on the docket. It's Jordan Saylor. Mr. Saylor? Your Honor, may we approach briefly?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Dave's Tire Pros makes buying tires simpler. They offer a straightforward approach to tire and auto service that includes nationwide warranties, a hassle-free experience, and a great selection of Michelin tires. No matter what you drive or where you have driven, Michelin has a tire to fit any need. Visit our store in Crestview or online at Dave'sTirePros.com. Tire Pros love the drive.
Hey, I'm David at Family Vision of Crestview. We've been providing excellent optical service for Northwest Florida for over 34 years. Come in and let us take care of you.
Fat Boy's Juicy Beef and Tasty Bird is located at 482 North Wilston Street in historic downtown Crestview, just 1 block from the courthouse. We open at 10 a.m. with amazing lunch specials until 2 p.m., serving incredible burgers, wings, sandwiches.
With Mr. Catalinic, either physically meet with him or at least telephonically between now and the end of this week.
Yes, sir.
And then I'll see you back here on Monday at 9 o'clock. I want to make sure that y'all have had meaningful communications about your case. He can't help you if you don't stay in touch with him, okay?
Yes,
If not, then I'm going to probably schedule it for trial, and Mr. Catalinic's going to go to trial with whatever he has or whatever he doesn't have. Again, he's privately retained by you. It's nobody that, the court has appointed to represent you.
Yes, sir.
You need to stay in touch with him. So I'll see you back here Monday at 9.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge. That's
Thank
all
you,
I
sir.
have.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Other private counsel? Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. Kelly Simon for Aaron Wentz on State of Florida versus Ronnie's Lozano Amador, 2023 CF 985. Mr. Lozano Amador is present. I did speak with him briefly with an interpreter outside. I don't know that she's back. She had another courtroom to go to. And I did receive an offer this morning of PTI from the state. So I think that will be agreeable. Just need a little bit of additional time. And I am not available on Monday, so Mr. Gomez and I were going to ask if we could reset this to ensure that Mr. Lozano is in PTI for next Thursday, the
Okay.
21st.
Yes, ma'am. So 9 o'clock on Thursday?
Yes, and I did advise him of this outside with the interpreter, knowing that I wouldn't have her in here.
Good. So 9 o'clock, a week from Thursday?
Yes.
Right. Okay. I'll see you next week. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. That's all I have. May I be
Thanks,
excused?
Ms. Simon. Yes, ma'am. And I may have private counsel on Zoom also after Mr. Keach. Mr. Keach?
Morning, Your Honor.
Morning, sir.
First case, I have Cordarius Grant, 22 CF 1438 and 22 CF 1429. He's actually housed at another institution. I know on the docket it says county jail, but he's being housed in Walton County. Just for record-keeping purposes, was the court scheduling him to appear by Zoom today, or can I take care of that case?
Okay. So we're talking about Grant, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we think that he'll appear via Zoom?
He won't be here because he'll be in the wall.
Okay. Will Walton County make him available via Zoom?
I don't,
Have you talked to them?
all I know is as of last Friday, the county lines in Walton County were still down, like their phones, so when they were doing first appearances, they couldn't schedule those over the internet, so I'm not sure. I spoke with Mr. Rogers, and we're in the process of scheduling a third round of depositions. They just provided us with an informant's identification, so the case isn't ready to be tried, but we've
Okay,
had
and your-
2 rounds of
And your
depositions.
client, Mr. Grant, knows that you're going to seek a continuance?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so is that what you want now?
Yes, sir.
Trial next time?
Well, I can't say that because I don't know how those depositions will go if we can find everyone, but I can tell the court that we've actively been working on it. We've scheduled 2 rounds of depositions and made significant headway.
Okay. Mr. Grant's cases are continued
To what date, Your Honor?
until November 13th.
Okay. The next non-inmate I would have would be Jeremy Saenz, S-A-E-N-Z, 23 CF 1464. There's a waiver of appearance on file in that matter. He resides in Texas as well as the victim and everyone else. Judge, I can set that for trial.
Okay. So trial, you want it, so trial, and then you're going to be here on Monday for docket day. We'll talk about number on the venire, all those things. What day?
If necessary, I can take care of that now, or if the court wants me here. I know it's Ms. Davis's case. She's not here, but I know the victim has sent an affidavit to the state attorney's office.
Okay.
So.
To the state?
Judge, I'd prefer we discuss that on docket day, given she's not here at the moment.
Okay. So Monday at 9 o'clock.
Okay. And then Larry Starkey, 23 CF 1465. Larry, come up.
Mr. Starkey's approaching on your left. Oh, Mr. Starkey.
Judge, I'm going to move for a continuance. I need to meet with Mr. Starkey and see his thoughts on his case. We haven't had any communication since we were appointed to that.
Objection.
Okay. So, Mr. Starkey, you need to make sure you stay in touch with Mr. Keach, okay? Mr. Keach, do I need to set this for plea continue for Monday and order Mr. Starkey to meet with you this week, or just a continuance?
I think just a continuance is fine. I'm going to give him my card, and I've actually represented him in the past, I believe. And
And he stayed in touch with you in the past?
He did.
Good.
He did. I don't know if he knew that we were appointed to his case prior in the interim, so.
Okay.
we'll
Mr.
get
Starkey,
with
I'll see you back here on November 13th at 9 o'clock. Okay? Thank you, sir.
And Judge, I have one inmate, and that's at 1:30 or 2:30?
1:30 is when we're hoping to have them.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And we'll see what happens today.
Thank you.
Right, thank you. Okay, yes, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sean LaPella for the record. First of all, I'm covering for Cassie Reed.
Okay.
The name of the case is Victoria Perez on 23 CF 1105.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Perez has a companion case, which is 23 1683 CF. So the request from Ms. Reed is to continue the first case to run together with the second one because they're going to be doing depots in both cases.
Okay. So continuance and have both cases run together?
That's the understanding I have, yes.
Okay. Any objection from the state?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay, it's continued. Both cases are continued until November 13th.
November 13th pretrial?
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. For my cases, Your Honor, the first one I have is Lonnie Lowitz, Lowitz, and for my cases, my clients have waived their appearance, have submitted waivers. We completed depositions in that case. I think we could just... Oh.
Yes, sir.
This is David Sellers. We can't hear you.
Thanks, Mr. Seller, I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Mr. LaPella?
Okay. Mr. Lowitz, we've completed depositions. I think we could just leave it set at this point. We do have another case we're setting for trial. We just don't want to have a conflict on the same week.
Okay. So, I'm sorry, so what are you seeking at this point?
We can leave it set, Judge.
Okay, so plea trial?
It's fine.
So I'll see you on Monday for that.
Next case I have is Gary Maxwell. Judge, we just completed depositions, and I think we're working towards a resolution in good faith. I think we need one more cycle to kind of work that out, and we have a travel conflict with the client this cycle. So we'd like to continue it one last time and anticipating trying the case next cycle.
When your client's going to be out of town or out of pocket, when?
I don't have that exact time frame, Judge.
Because you got 2 different weeks. They're going to be gone both weeks? Because
We
I
just-
said trial next time, last time, so.
Oh, okay. I don't recall that. But that's up to the court then, I suppose.
So plea trial, and then you can talk to the state about whether you want to go on September 26th or October 2nd. And I'll see you and your client Monday.
Very well, Your Honor. And hope to not get jammed up, but we have Alan Muller, which is an older case, and we'd like to leave that we anticipate the court wanted to set that case for trial this cycle. We did agree to the state's continuance last cycle.
Okay,
on that
so
one.
plea trial?
That's understanding, yes.
Okay.
Like I said, that's 3 in a row. I don't anticipate being able to try all 3 cases in whether it be in 1 week or 2 weeks. These are felonies, these are complicated cases, so.
Understand.
The next matter I have is Joseph Rogers. If I could approach with the state on that case?
Yes, sir, thank you. And I'm smiling because I have trial next time on that one too, so.
Fat Boy's Juicy Beef and Tasty Bird is located at 482 North Wilston Street in historic downtown Crestview, just 1 block from the courthouse. We open at 10 a.m. with amazing lunch specials until 2 p.m., serving incredible burgers, wings, sandwiches, and appetizers. Join us for happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Hope to see you soon.
Okay, Mr. LaPella, you also have Cersei.
On Mr. Cersei, we're requesting a continuance. We have depositions scheduled on October 10th.
Okay, yes, sir, it's continued.
Thank you. Next matter I have is Michael Usher. We have depositions to be set. They have not been set yet. I believe it's first time up. Moving to continue.
Yes, sir, it's continued.
Last matter I have is Ronald Wire with a W. And depots are set in that case October 24th. We move to continue that one.
Yes, sir, that's continued.
All right, and that's all I have. Thank you. If I could be excused.
Yes, sir, thank you. Since we've been working more than an hour and a half, we're going to take a 10-minute recess, and then we'll come back and finish up the morning. Thank you.
All rise, please.
Check out the soaps, bath bombs, and other bath and body products, all made by hand with natural ingredients at Hub City Soapery. Visit us at 1092 North Verdon Boulevard in Crestview or shop online at hubcitysoapery.com. Hub City Soapery.
This is Tiffany Woodham, State Farm's newest agent in Crestview. I'd like to personally invite you to stop by my office for a no-cost policy review. Let me help you start saving today. Call in, walk in, or click in at yourcrestviewagent.com.
Alex Barthay from the UPS store once again, and I wanted to let you know about our Sunday hours. We're open now 7 days a week. Normal hours that you've been expecting, but now we're open Saturday 10 to 4, Sunday 10 to 3, and it's both our Crestview, Fort Walton Beach, and Eglin Air Force Base locations. So you have things to do, go and do it. Just know the UPS store is going to be here. Again, Sundays 10 until 3 p.m.
The Cottage Formal Wear, located at 648 North Wilson Street, has all your needs for looking your best. We have homecoming, prom, and pageant dresses. We have tux rental suits, vests, ties. Need something casual? We have that too. Shop Hometown First and visit us on Facebook at the Cottage Boutique and Formal Wear. We're located at 648 North Wilson Street. Call 850-682-2446.
Hi, I'm Wanda Roberts. For the last 20 years, I've been helping the residents of Northwest Florida buy and sell their properties. My office is just 1 block south of the courthouse in historic downtown Crestview. Give us a call at 850-398-5389.
Hi, I'm Michael Gilbert, defense attorney with Warrior Law. I represent those accused in Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, and Walton County. If you or anyone you know has been accused of a crime, give us a call. We can help.
Hello, this is Chris Norman at Bulldog Bail Bonds. Our office is in Crestview, Florida, but we service 7 Northwest Florida counties. If you ever find yourself in a jam, please give us a call. We're here to help you out.
Congratulations, Crestview's very own Dixie Dan Powell of Powell Injury Law, for your recent jury verdict of $11.5 million for your client from a death and injury against an inflatable amusement company. Recognized in 2017 as one of the top 100 civil trial lawyers in the state of Florida, and Dixie is AV preeminent rated. Dixie Dan Powell works tirelessly for his clients, as is evident by this extraordinary verdict. If you're taking your case to trial, be prepared. Contact Dixie Dan Powell and Powell Injury Law, 850-306-2667.
Back Home Bakery Cafe is 2 blocks from the courthouse on Crestview's historic Main Street. We serve handmade pastries, espresso, and lunch items, and we're open Tuesday to Saturday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., serving lunch from 11 to 2. We hope to see you soon.
Hello, I am Bonnie from Body Be Healthy here in Crestview. We have been serving the area since 1999. We're an alternative health food store. If you're interested in bettering your health, we'd like to invite you to stop by. We're located in Court Plaza. Stop by and let us help you be healthy.
I'm Amanda Gaskin with Briarpatch Realty. Helping qualified heroes save money is my passion. When I help a hero buy or sell a home, they receive a check from Homes for Heroes. Check out amandasheroes.com for more information.
For more than 70 years, the sweet aroma of the Crestview Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs has permeated the downtown area. If you have not experienced the unique flavor of Crestview's Coney Islands burgers and hot dogs, then I encourage you to join us for lunch. Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m., Friday from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m., and Saturday from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. We're located in historic downtown Crestview at 107 North Main Street. Call 850-683-1045.
CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer since 1999. We're state licensed and insured, family owned and operated with 24 years of local service. We specialize in shingles and metal, re-roofs, repairs, and leak specialists. For all of your roofing needs, call us today or visit our website at cqroofing.com. CQ Roofing, your hometown roofer.
Days Tire Pros makes buying tires simpler. They offer a straightforward approach to tire and auto service that includes nationwide warranties, a hassle-free experience, and a great selection of Michelin tires. No matter what you drive or where you have driven, Michelin has a tire to fit any need. Visit our store in Crestview or online at daystirepros.com. Tire Pros love the drive.
Hey, I'm David at Family Vision of Crestview. We've been providing excellent optical service for Northwest Florida for over 34 years. Come in and let us take care of you.
Bad Boy's Juicy Beef and Tasty Bird is located at 482 North Wilston Street in historic downtown Crestview, just one block from the courthouse. We open at 10 a.m. with amazing lunch specials until 2 p.m., serving incredible burgers, wings, sandwiches, and appetizers. Join us for happy hour Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Hope to see you soon.
That, and then what we'll do is we'll just set it for plea continue on Monday at 9 o'clock. Mr. Sellers, if I need to change that and continue that hearing, then my office will do that if we don't have anything from Dr. McDonald. If she says she can't get it to us until a week from Thursday, then we'll reschedule it to Thursday. Okay?
Okay.
I know on 7/20 you appoint the expert for competency, and then I notated on the minute sheet that an order was to be follow with that, and no order was ever filed. So.
Okay, so no orders filed is according to the clerk. Mr. Sellers, you didn't provide the court with a proposed order appointing Dr. McDonald?
I did. I'll check with my paralegal judge and we'll notify you right away.
Okay. Because you're looking at the docket.
I'm looking at the docket entry.
Clerk's looking at the docket. There's no order, so we can't blame Dr. McDonald on that.
I'll check with my paralegal right away.
Okay. Okay, let's leave it on for plea continue as long as I can get that order entered. Then we'll probably continue that hearing, but let's make sure I enter the order, okay?
Yes, sir, Judge. I'll get back to
Thank you, Mr. Sellers.
Thank you, Judge. Bye-bye.
Okay, private counsel that's on Zoom? Any other private counsel on Zoom?
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning. Clementine Condi.
Thanks, Ms. Condi. Okay, Ms. Condi, let's see.
It's 23 CF 416, possession of marijuana felony.
Yes, ma'am, got it. Pratt? Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, Mr. Gomez sent me the PTI information on Friday. I got the agreement, and I've got the packet from Conspiracy DOC probation. I'm meeting with the client Wednesday to have everything filled out and sent back.
Okay. So, Mr. Gomez, it took you almost 2 months to get the PTI stuff to the defense attorney? Because you mentioned, or somebody mentioned PTI last time we were here.
Yes, Your Honor, that was me. It actually did take me about 6 weeks. Yeah, I had 4 cases that were set for trial. I had 4 substantive motions, and then the last 2 weeks were filled with depots every single day from about 8 till 4:30.
Okay.
So that's why I got it to her at the earliest possible chance that I could.
Okay, so do you want to just continue the case?
But she has the PTI now. It should fall off the docket within the next 5 days.
Right, but as far as just the underlying case, let's continue it. And if the PTI paperwork's filed, then the case will fall off the docket.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so it's continued. Okay. Thanks, Ms. Condi.
Until what date? Until what date?
Until November 13th.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'll have everything done in 5 days. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Have a great day.
Thank you, you too. Okay. Other private counsel on Zoom?
Sydney Brown. Good morning. I represent Albert McKinney in case number 19 CF 824.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Kinney is in custody, Judge.
Okay, so he's going to, hold on, Ms. Brown. He's going to appear via Zoom as soon as we can get to him after we get finished with all the live folks, but it'll be no earlier than 1:30 this afternoon, okay?
All right, Judge.
Okay.
So I can come back at 1:30?
Yes, ma'am, that'd be great.
Okay, will do. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Still?
Morning, Judge Brown.
Morning, sir.
Still for Nathaniel Briggs. He has 2 cases, Judge. One is a capital murder, death has been waived, and the other was a shootout case in a different neighborhood.
Okay, and Mr. Riggs is incarcerated, so he'll be here via Zoom at 1:30 or after, okay?
Today?
Yes, sir. Unless you've talked to him and if you're asking for a continuance, if you've talked to Mr. Riggs and he knows that and he consents to that and you waive his appearance, then we can do that. Otherwise, I'll see you this afternoon.
And Judge, I wanted to say that I had planned on being in town Thursday, Friday, and I'm going to be spending quite a bit of time with him and his family getting background. So I could waive that. We talked about it, and he knows our strategy and so forth. We're just kind of getting started.
Okay, so Mr. Riggs knows that you're going to seek a continuance.
Yes.
Okay. So it's continued one cycle. That will be until November 13th at 9 o'clock. If you need to set a hearing before that date, Mr. Still, then just contact the clerk or my JA, okay?
Okay, thank you. Judge, this is a case that we've had a little problem with the JAC. The same order appointed me on both cases. They accepted it on the murder case, but they rejected on the other one. And that's why I had sent you a letter saying they wanted some kind of language in there that said that the regional council had been taken off, but it was taken off like a year ago and 8 attorneys ago. So
Right. I remember, I thought I addressed that, but if I haven't, if you'll send me another email. I know that they did come off at a period of time. And again, I did go through and did my homework after receiving that. But if you'll let me know if the ball's still in my court, tell me, give me a proposed order that loads it up with the language of who was appointed, when they were removed, those things, then I'll look at it and sign it, okay?
yes, I appreciate it. Thank you, Robert.
Okay, if you'll also, Mr. Still, if you'll contact the Okaloosa County jail and tell them that Mr. Riggs doesn't need to appear this afternoon.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Good. Thank you, sir.
Was he appearing in physically or on Zoom?
On Zoom?
Okay.
Okay.
I can get in touch with him then.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, other private counsel on Zoom? Okay,
for Blake Watson.
Okay, so he's not happy about
I'm sorry, your last name is what?
Ron Johnson.
Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Johnson. Yes, sir, gotcha. Okay, for Mr. Martin, and that is 21 CF 1559. Mr. Johnson, what do you wish to do on this case?
Judge, I saw your motion that the state had filed, and we didn't contest one of their allegations, and the court granted that, and we've asked for a rehearing. And, we would like to hear that before we try the case, but it looks like at some point we're going to try the case.
Okay, so you filed a motion for rehearing and a motion for an order entered on a motion in limine?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Do we want, Madam Clerk, as far as timing? Mr. Johnson, do you want it as early as September 21st in the afternoon? Or do you want it October 9th or 12th?
Can we get it on October 9th or 12th?
Okay. Madam Clerk, what does the afternoon of October 9th look like?
You have 4 BOP evidences at 9:30.
Okay. Let's do it on October 12th at 2:30.
Okay, Judge, I'll put it down. Thank you.
Okay, if you'll do a notice of hearing for that, Mr. Johnson? Okay.
Yes, I'll let you know.
And so then I'll just continue the underlying case. So the next pretrial is November 13th.
Judge, you need me to appear physically on the 12th, sir?
I think you're, Mr. Johnson, you're going to need your, yes, sir, I do. And, well, I don't know, hold on. Mr. Johnson, does your client physically need to be here for the motion for rehearing on the motion in limine? Probably not, right?
Probably not. I have a waiver file, but he may want to attend, but I don't think it's necessary for him to be there.
Okay. So, Mr. Martin, I waive your appearance on the October 12th hearing. If you want to be here, you're always welcome. Otherwise, I'll see you on November 13th at 9 o'clock, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Any other?
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
You too, Mr. Johnson. Any other private counsel on Zoom? Okay, don't see any. Okay, private counsel here. Mr. Stewart.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir.
May it please the Court, Your Honor, Brad Stewart present. My first client on the court's docket is Akeem Balagan, Judge. This is 22 CF 2817.
Your Honor, this is the code. This is the third co-defendant in the Lucchese and what's the other co-defendant? But this is the incident where we thought it was going to, yeah, it's going federal. So the same thing, if they can track on the 11-13 together, I anticipate they'll be off the docket by that 11-13 date.
11-13?
Isn't that the November 13th?
November 13th,
Yes, Your
I'm
Honor.
sorry. Yes, sir. Any objection to that, Mr. Stewart?
No, Your Honor.
So it's continued until November 13th.
Yes, Your Honor. My next client is Marquette Lewis, Judge. This is 22 CF 2641. Can I get a call for Mr. Lewis?
So he'll be here.
I didn't see him on the list, I'm sorry. He did? Add-on? Okay.
Okay, so he'll be here 1:30 or thereafter.
Understood.
On Zoom, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Judge, I also have Jinhui Lee.
Yes, sir.
That's 22 CF 3180. We have depositions set in October. I do need to continue this to 11-13.
Yes, sir.
Very good. And, Your Honor, I'll appear at the jail with Mr. Lewis.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
That's all I have. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Ms. Jakewood.
Mr. Lewis asked that I go before him.
Oh, okay.
So, I don't know if that's good or bad, Judge, but just wanted the court to know I'm not jumping in front of him. Your Honor, the first I have that's out of custody is Mr. De La Rosa. who is present and approaching in 22 CF 1935.
Okay, hold
Your-
on one second.
Apologies.
Let me make sure I've got the right binder of pleadings. Got it. Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, in Mr. De La Rosa's case, we are very close to a resolution. We're just missing some paperwork and things that need to be squared away. If we could continue this to November 13th, I expect that it'll come off the docket sooner.
Okay. Mr. De La Rosa, do you agree to the continuance? Yes, sir. I'll see you back here November 13th, okay? Thank you, sir.
Your Honor, the next I have is Maurice Longmire, 22 CF 2727. Mr. Longmire is present and approaching. And Your Honor, I did receive an evaluation back from Dr. McDonald opinining that Mr. Longmire was incompetent. I got that on Saturday, so I've not had an opportunity to prepare an order for the court. But I don't believe the state intends to ask for a second eval prior to the competency training. So I just need to provide an order.
Do you have the report?
I apologize, Your Honor. I didn't even have a chance to print it out because of how late I got it, but I will provide that to the court this afternoon.
Okay. So as far as Mr. Longmire's case, what do you wish to do?
So I think the most prudent thing to do for today's purposes is go ahead and just continue it to the November 13th, but waive Mr. Longmire's presence. However, prior to that time, I believe it'll come off the docket because of the order being signed for him to do the competency training, and I've explained that to him and his sister.
Okay, good. So Mr. Longmire, you really won't have another hearing date, so stay in touch with Ms. Jaquith, and then I'll see you after the competency training, okay? Thank you, sir. So it's continued.
And if it's okay with the court, I'm going to prepare separate orders because I know APD and DCF get very touchy about weird things being in their orders. So I'll provide an order continuing the case to the 6-month hearing date that I'll prearrange with the state attorney's office and provide a separate order for the competency training.
Super. Thank you, ma'am.
Your Honor, next I have is Michael Matthews. Mr. Matthews is present and approaching in 23 CF 1257. And Your Honor, this is a brand new case for me, but it does appear the state's going to be in a position to offer PTI. So I think prudent to go ahead and continue this to the November docket with the understanding we expect it to fall off. Mr. Matthews has indicated that he would be amenable to the PTI offer.
Mr. Matthews, hard to say there's a much better outcome than pretrial intervention as far as your case goes. So I hope that you enter that and that you successfully complete it. Then your case is dismissed. So I think it's worth your time, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Okay.
You have a good day. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I do have one that's in custody that I wanted to address, Mr. Middleton, Joseph Middleton.
Okay.
Your Honor, I believe we reached an agreement, Mr. Middleton, based on my conversations with him, will want to accept, but I didn't have that offer until Friday. So I'll need to leave him on for docket day, plea or continue, but he does not need to be seen this afternoon.
Okay, so plea continue on Middleton, and you'll let the jail know.
I will, Your Honor.
Good. Thank you.
Next I have is Scott Moose. Mr. Moose. Your Honor, Mr. Moose is present and approaching in 23 CF 1309. In Mr. Moo's case, Your Honor, we have depots scheduled on October 30th, so I'll have to request to continue this to November 13th docket.
Mr. Moose, do you agree to the continuance?
Yes, sir.
I'll see you back here November 13th at 9 o'clock.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Elizabeth Newton. Your Honor, Ms. Newton's present in 23 CF 1345. This is a relatively new case for me, first time on the docket. Your Honor, I need to continue this matter. More or less, it's a financial case where there's quite a bit of paperwork that needs to be reviewed, and then on top of that, I will need to set depositions.
Okay. Ms. Newton, how are you doing? Ms. Newton, do you agree to the continuance?
Yes, sir.
I'll see you back here on November 13th at 9 o'clock. Stay in touch with Ms. Jakewood, okay? Thank you, ma'am.
You need to call my office to set an appointment, okay? Your Honor, next I have is Ron Peterson. Mr. Peterson is present and approaching in 21 CF 1964 and 1965. Your Honor, if we could put this on plea or continue for next week, I think we'll have it resolved.
Okay. Mr. Peterson, I'll see you on Monday at 9 o'clock, okay? Thank you, sir.
Yep. Your Honor, next I have is Ronald Phillips. Mr. Phillips. And Your Honor, Mr. Phillips also has a case with the PD's office. Your Honor, as for my case, I have deposition scheduled in this matter on October 30th, so I'll be moving to continue this to the November docket.
Okay, so 23 CF 625 is continued. Okay, then on the other case that Mr. Phillips has?
Yes, good morning, Judge. Good
morning, sir.
Thomas Koch for the record. And this is case number 23 CF 1578. Judge, I'll be seeking a first-time continuance. I'm going to give Mr. Phillips my card to schedule an appointment with me at my office.
Okay. Mr. Phillips, you got 2 attorneys. I'll see you back on both of your cases on November 13th. Stay in touch with both of your attorneys, okay? Thank you, sir.
Wait, can you hold that for a second? Your Honor, next I have is Crystal Ross. Ms. Ross is present and approaching in 23 CF 23. Your Honor, when I went to schedule depositions on this, I was trying to coordinate with PD's office because they have the co-defendant, and then realized that there were 2 different state attorneys on the cases, and was kind of waiting to get some resolution as to what was going to happen with that. It's my understanding they're going to keep them separate, so I now am in a position to set depositions now that I know where we're at, but obviously not before this trial cycle. So if we could continue this to the November docket, please.
Ms. Ross, do you understand what Ms. Jacobs is doing on your case? I'll see you back here November 13th at 9 o'clock, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
I do have one other, Michael David Ross, who's an inmate, Your Honor. I've spoken to the state. They are amenable to considering Phoenix House in lieu of a prison sentence, and we've done that application, but we don't have a response. So if we could continue that to the November docket, and I've spoken to Mr. Ross about that, and he doesn't expect to be seen today, and asked not to be seen, if possible. So if we could continue that to November, and hopefully we'll have a response earlier, and we can get him pled out.
Yes, ma'am, it's continued. You'll let the jail know.
I will, yes, sir.
Thank you.
Your Honor, next is Christopher Russell. Mr. Russell is present and approaching. 23 CF 446. We did receive his evaluation as well. He is competent, so we are in a position now to move forward with his case, but we will need to set some depositions, so we'll need to do that before, between now and trial time. So if we could set it for the November docket.
Okay. Before I set it, and help the court, okay? Make sure that the court, you've seen those appellate cases that go up and say competency was never directly addressed by the court. Make sure the court rules.
Yes, sir.
I did read the report, the evaluation. I do find Mr. Russell competent to proceed.
And Your Honor, I do intend to provide the court with a written order. I just, again, this is another one we got pretty late last week, so I haven't had an opportunity to do that yet.
Understand. But no harm in getting me to do
Yes,
it
sir.
orally, especially in criminal where oral takes priority over what's in writing.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm going to see Mr. Russell on November 13th. Is that right?
Yes,
I'll
sir.
see you then, sir. Thank you.
Your Honor, the next I have is Wolfgang Rutherford in 22 CF 370. Mr. Rutherford has a waiver on file with the court. And Your Honor, this is already scheduled for October 9th in the afternoon for a negotiated plea, but also a sentencing hearing. I believe the alleged victim would like to be heard.
Okay. So October 9th will be a plea?
Plea and sentencing, yes, in the afternoon, Your Honor.
Okay.
And that's already been scheduled.
Okay. Madam Clerk, any problems with that? Okay. Good.
So I don't know, do we need to continue the underlying case, or do we just want to put it for the 9th? Does that work for you, Madam Clerk, if we just say 10-9? Okay. It'll be done that day, so no reason, I don't think, to muddy the docket.
Good, thank you.
Your Honor, next I have Kendall Schumacher. Mr. Schumacher is present in 23 CF 1338. Your Honor, I believe the extended offer in this case was a PTI, but there was some conditions that needed to be addressed initially. So if we could continue this to the November docket, but with the understanding I expect it'll fall off the docket before then.
Okay. Mr. Schumacher, I'll see you back here no later. Well, I'll see you on November 13th at 9 o'clock, unless it's worked out before that, and Ms. Jakewood will tell you don't have to come.
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay? Thank you.
Your, I did not know until I got the docket, but there's apparently a Lucas Simpliciano that I've received.
Yes, ma'am.
I would just ask that the court have the PD's office provide written orders.
Is that Mr. Simpliciano?
He is, yes. This is him, Your Honor. He is approaching. It's 21 CF 2961, 21 CF 3277, and 22 CF 227.
Yes, ma'am.
Just for the court's information, I realize that for the court, it seems like it'll expedite things if the PD's allowed to withdraw in court, but if they don't provide an order, my office doesn't know about it. So I found out about this when I looked at the docket on Friday. So it actually slows things down, it doesn't expedite them. So I would just ask that the court make sure that the PD's office, even if the court allows withdrawal in court, is providing an
Get 'em
order.
to do an order.
So that we can get notice of that. With that information, obviously I have no information about the case, so if we could continue this to the November docket.
Okay, I'll see you back here on November 13th at 9 o'clock. Thank you. Stay in touch with Ms. Jakewood. Thank you.
And Your Honor, the next I have is Tyler Smith, who also has a waiver on file. He is a resident of Illinois. Case number is 23-7-1236. The case number seems a bit old to me, but this is the first time I've had it on the docket. If we could continue this to the 11/13, I expect to coordinate with the co-defendant to get some depots set up.
Okay, yes, ma'am, it's continued.
And then I have a couple that I'm going to skip, Your Honor, because I haven't spoken to them this morning, if that's okay.
Okay.
If I could skip ahead to Mr. Warnbull, Keith Warnbull, who was here, but he also has a waiver on file, so I'm waiving his appearance.
Okay.
Your Honor, that case number is 22 CF 2568, and we are ready for trial in that case.
Okay. So it'll be plea trial on Monday?
Yes, sir.
Or just trial on Monday?
That's you.
I'm sorry, so.
Keith Warnbull.
Oh, Your Honor, this case needs to be dismissed. This was the similar situation as with another defendant. The victim in this case is actually deceased. We received the death certificate, and so given that, we cannot move forward with this case.
Okay, so case number 22 CF 2568 is dismissed.
And finally, Your Honor, I have Michael Wilsey.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Wilsey,
Michael Wayne Wilsey.
23 CF 1041.
I don't see Mr. Wilsey.
I have not had any contact with Mr. Wilsey, Your Honor.
What does the state seek?
Capious, Your Honor.
Capious will be issued for Mr. Wilsey. That means they'll arrest him, bring him before the court, so we appreciate you all being here. And the first appearance judge will determine the bond.
Thank you, Your Honor. And I have two others that I will return with once I've had a chance to speak with them. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Nopes.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir.
First out of custody case I've got is Brandon Lee, 22 CF 1380. And she's present. I don't know how long. I think I've just recently been appointed, but the state, I saw this morning, I'm looking at my email while the court's conducting business, and I just got some discovery in this morning. I was going to suggest to leave it set for Monday in hopes that after I review it and get a hold of him, maybe we can resolve it Monday.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor, this is one of those weird ones. When I saw it on the docket, I went into our case file. We had nothing to point to actual probable cause for the charge. So I had to go through and get those documents, this being a financial case, and then just provide those to Mr. Nopes. So we are moving this case. I think there's a potential for a resolution, but clear continue would be good on Monday.
Okay. So, Mr. Lee, I'll see you on Monday at 9 o'clock. If Mr. Nopes says you don't have to be here Monday, then I waive your appearance. But if you're going to enter a plea or if the state's going to do something else, I'll see you Monday at 9.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
That's the 18th, right, Judge?
Correct.
Judge, I then have Julian Labello. Judge, Mr. Labello is present. We had depositions the other day, and there was 2 additional witnesses that the state added to their list, and we're in the process of setting those up.
Okay.
And those were based on the depositions that we took. There was 2 more witnesses that came out. So.
Okay. Mr. Labello, you can come up here. It's your case. Mr. Labello, do you understand what Mr. Nopes is doing on your case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you agree to the continuance?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll see you back here November 13th at 9 o'clock. Stay in touch with Mr. Nopes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Judge, the next case I have...
Mr. Labello, is that your mom that's with you?
No.
No. Okay. Thank you.
Next case I have is Jaden Lovett. Judge, Mr. Lovett has a number of cases. Mr. Gomez and I have been trying to figure out if there's any audio recordings of the previously taken depositions in some of these cases. I think we've determined this morning that there's not. Therefore, I'm going to have to reset all the depositions, and so I'm fearful people are probably going to be disgruntled with that. However, that's where I'm at. I need to continue it, and I've just got to reschedule everything.
Okay.
That's correct, Your Honor. I checked. It's one of the unfortunate things with some of the turnover in the state attorney's office. I think we, for some reason, didn't get any of the audios transcribed or put into the files. So given that and the seriousness of some of these charges, I think the depots would be necessary in this case.
Okay. Mr. Levitt, I'll see you on November 13th at 9 o'clock, okay?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
Judge, the next case I have is Mr. Anthony Lucy. Mr. Lucy, Judge, he was here last time. If I could just skip him for a minute, and I'll go out and see if I can got a number to call him. Judge, then I've got William Morgan. Mr. Morgan's always in court, Judge. The state's putting together the PTI paperwork.
Good.
And we've agreed to leave it set for Monday.
Okay.
Hard date, Mr.
Okay.
Gomez.
Yes. Yeah.
So, plea continue, plea trial?
Plea trial, it'll be resolved.
Okay. Mr. Morgan, I'll see you a week from today at 9 o'clock, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Judge, if you hear a rumor that I'm camped out at his office Thursday or Friday afternoon,
Okay.
there's probably some truth in it.
Okay, so sign the trespass notice?
Yeah. Exactly. I'm just picking on him. I'm just picking on him. He and I both talk about our schedules, and it seems like it's constant. But anyway, Joe Petit, if he's present, if we could approach. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to continue your case. First off, I'm sorry about your mom.
Oh, it's okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'll see you back here on November 13th at 9, okay? Thank you, sir.
Set a point, okay? Judge, then I've got one of the other Rutherford brothers, Nathaniel Rutherford, because he's present, so I think we're set to enter the agreed upon plea October 9th at 1:30. JD.
Okay, so October 9th, 1:30 plea?
Yes. Well, I guess plea and sentencing, yes, is what Katie just announced on her plan.
Okay. Mr. Rutherford, I'll see you October 9th at 1:30. I'll do my homework, okay? Thank you, sir.
October 9th.
And Judge, that will be an agreed upon plea for all three. There's just the victim that would like to be heard.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Good.
Judge, the next case I have is Carlos Sambalun. Judge, he's present. Judge, I've given to my paralegal, Mr. Samlin, in one more of these cases to coordinate the depots that have got to be set. I had a backlog, but I've completed a bunch of depots in the last 30 days. So she's going to contact Brooke Davis's office. I've given her the new information. I guess Tiffany's a different name than our sheet, but she's coordinating on Carlos Sambalun. I think there's 3 witnesses that were quasi-co-defendants that are, 2 of them are in the Department of Corrections.
Yes, sir.
And that creates a little bit of a problem with the depots.
Okay. Mr. Samberlin, do you agree to the continuance?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I'll see you back here on November 13th at 9 o'clock.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I'll see you there. And then, Judge, the final out of custody I have is Mr. Snell, and that was the other case that I was talking about, that we're behind, but she's got it, and she's putting it together to set the depot via Zoom. I think he's in a recovery or something over in Pensacola. But
Mr. Snell?
the witness is in a recovery place.
Okay. Mr. Snell, do you understand what Mr. Nopes is doing on your case?
Yes, sir.
I'll see you back here on November 13th at 9.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. It's
Good, I'm gonna step out and try to find that other, Mr. Lucy, okay?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Any other private counsel, either on Zoom or live? Okay, I don't see any, so then the defendants that are not represented by attorneys is Toy LaRocca present.
Your Honor, I believe Mrs. LaRocca is actually represented by Mr. Garrett.
Okay. Good, okay, thank you. William Locke?
Mr. Locke is actually now represented by Mr. Nose as of this weekend.
Okay, good. Thank you. Alan Briner, Mattias Carrillo. It's Mattias Carrillo, 23 CF 1412. Letters returned undelivered. How does the defendant know about the dates? When I was doing my homework, that was what I saw. So let's come back on Mr. Mattias Carrillo. We'll talk about him at the end of the day, okay?
Okay.
Eric Paul McNamara. Mr. McNamara, 23 CF 1499. Does the state have an offer for Mr. McNamara? 23 CF 1499.
Your Honor, at this time, it would be an adjudication of guilt to the charges as they are charged, 615 in court, or I'm sorry, 2 years of probation, 615 in court costs, a substance abuse evaluation within 30 days, and begin any recommended treatment within 60 days, community service work in the amount of 24 hours.
Okay. Mr. McNamara, have you ever been adjudicated guilty of a felony?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you ever been on probation before?
Yes, sir.
So you have the right to an attorney. If you qualify financially, I'll appoint one. You have the right to a jury trial. You have the right to waive those if you want to and accept the state's offer. It's up to you. What do you wish to do?
I was going to see if you're going to appoint an attorney.
Okay. How much money do you make per month?
Probably around $1,600.
Okay. I do appoint the public defender to represent you. Mr. Kleins is approaching on your left.
Mr. McNamara, right? Okay. Your Honor, I would ask for a one-cycle continuance.
Okay. Mr. McNamara, I'll see you back here on November 13th at 9 o'clock. Stay in touch with Mr. Kleins.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I need you to write down the phone.
Jessica Muscle White is next. Jessica Muscle White. I've got pre-trial appointed, 23, ma'am? Oh, good, okay. Hello, Ms. Muscle White. Please carry the lectern. 23 CF 1551. Does the state have an offer for Ms. Muscle White?
Yes, Your Honor. It would be a withhold of adjudication, 2 years of probation. The court would reserve jurisdiction to determine the amount of restitution for 90 days, 615 in court costs, community service work in the amount of 48 hours, no contact with the victim, and anger management class to enroll within the first 30 days and begin any recommended treatment within 60 days.
Okay. Ms. Muscle White, have you ever been on probation before?
No, sir, I haven't.
Okay. You have the right to an attorney. You have the right to a trial. If you want me to appoint the public defender and you qualify financially, I'll do that. Is that what you wish?
Yes, sir. I would like to ask for the continuance to retain...
private attorney?
Well, just legal counsel. My initial intention was to have that prepared before I came in here today. However,
okay. Let me stop you. I just get nervous. Everything's being recorded. If you say anything factually about your case, it can be used against you. So just hold on. You won't have any problems getting a continuance today, okay?
Thank you.
So I do continue your case until November 13th at 9 o'clock. If you want a public defender, fill out the financial affidavit at the clerk's office.
Okay.
If you're going to hire private counsel, get them sooner than later so that they can work on your case well before November 13th. Okay? November 13th, 9 o'clock, I'll see you back here.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. Did we already do Robert Petty?
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
Okay.
I'm also really.
Robert Dallas Petty? Hello, Mr. Petty. 23, in their TR cases.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Supposedly they were running with some other cases?
So he has a CF case.
Good.
That stemmed from the TR cases, so they transfer and travel the CF cases.
Yes,
What
sir.
is the CF case?
I got, Judges, 2023 CF 642 for Mr. Petty.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Your Honor. I spoke with Mr. Petty. I'm seeking a continuance, Judge. He's going to schedule an appointment to come into my office.
Okay. So, Mr. Petty, I'll see you on all of your cases on November 13th at 9 o'clock. Make an appointment with your attorney and make sure you stay in touch with him.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
I was wondering, because on my docket, all it has is the TR.
TR.
I was like, this is different.
I did the same thing. I was trying to get rid of it to Judge Mason, but it didn't work. Rakeem Phipps is next. Rakeem Charm Phipps, PHIPPS, 23 CF 486. I don't see Mr. Phipps. What does the state seek?
Request a capias, Your Honor.
A capias will be issued for Mr. Phipps, and the first appearance judge will determine the bond. Josu Prado, 23 CF 1584. How do you pronounce your first name?
Josue.
Josue.
Yes,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Well,
Does the state have an offer for Mr. Prado?
Yes, Your Honor. Let me pull it up real quick. It would be an adjudication of guilt, standard probation for 2 years. The court would reserve jurisdiction to determine the amount of restitution for 90 days, $615 in court costs. Community service work in the amount of 48 hours. No contact with the victim, Mr. Chad Ellinger. And I misspoke, Your Honor, it would be 2 years of probation, not 3.
I'm sorry, 2 years probation, what?
2 years of probation, not 3. I misspoke on that.
Okay. Mr. Prado, have you ever been on probation before?
yes, sir.
Okay. Have you ever been adjudicated guilty of a felony before?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you wish for me to appoint the public defender if you qualify financially?
Yes, please.
How much money do you make per month?
Roughly 2,000.
Okay, I do appoint the public defender to represent you. Mr. Koch is approaching on your left.
Yes, Judge.
Yes, sir.
If we get a one-cycle continuance, Your Honor,
Yes, sir.
I'll provide my contact information.
Okay. So November 13th at 9 o'clock, make sure you stay in touch with your attorney.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Julio Ramos Perez. And it's in county jail, gotcha. Kyle Derek Shields, 23 CF 1579. Hello, Mr. Shields. Does the state have I see the charge. I doubt the state's got an offer from Mr. Shields that he may want to accept without an attorney.
Judge, it's a withhold adjudication, 6 months drug offender probation, followed by 24 months regular probation, plus some other terms.
Okay. Mr. Shields, do you wish for me to appoint the public defender if you qualify financially?
Yes, sir.
How much money do you make per month?
About 2,500.
Okay. You may not qualify for the public defender for that amount. I can't just say verbally that you do. You can fill out a financial affidavit with the clerk's office, and I ask you to do that before you leave the courthouse.
Yes, sir.
If the clerk says you don't qualify financially, before that, when you fill out your financial affidavit, load it up with costs, whatever you've got, because the court, there's a way that you can appeal it at the bottom and ask the judge to look at it. We have more discretion than the clerk does, okay? Because you're pretty close to the cutoff, but I can't just say that you qualify at this point.
Yes, sir.
So fill it out. If the clerk says you don't qualify, appeal it. Doesn't cost you any more to appeal it. Let the judge look at it.
Okay.
If you don't qualify for the public defender, you'll either be representing yourself or you'll need to hire a private attorney.
Yes, sir.
I'll see you back here November 13th at 9 o'clock. Fill out that financial affidavit before you leave.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, on William Troy Vordenbaum, pro se defendant file motion to dismiss. Hello, Mr. Vordenbaum. I did see that you filed a motion to dismiss. Mr. Vordenbaum, do you want me to appoint an attorney to represent you? You're going to represent yourself?
Yes, sir.
You're going to represent yourself?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you understand that you have the right to an attorney?
Sure.
And that if you can't afford one, one will be appointed for you?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay. So you want me to schedule the motion to dismiss hearing?
Yeah, unless you want to go for it today.
Judge, we've already had some motion hearings on Mr. Vordenbaum's case.
I'd like to renew
So
that.
I think we've heard his
Motion to
motions
dismiss has
before.
been disposed of? Was there an order entered on that?
Yeah, I'm not sure. We had, I think, 3 or 4 different motions that we heard all at one time, unless there's something new since then, which I don't think I have any notice of.
Okay.
We've already handled all these motions.
Yeah, we did a video on the 24th.
On August
Motion to
24th.
suppress, motion to dismiss, motion
Gotcha.
to...
Okay, so are we going to trial, State?
Yes, Judge.
So, Mr. Vordenbaum, I'll see you here on Monday at 9 o'clock, setting it for trial. I'll have a lot of questions I'll talk to you about as far as representing yourself. I'll ask the state about, when do they want to schedule it for trial? How long will it take to try? How many people do they want on the venire? That is the panel from which the jury selected.
Sure.
Start with traditionally 22. You need to be ready because we're going to be going to trial on either September 26th that week or October 2nd, okay? But I have a lot of questions for you on Monday. Make sure that you're competent to represent yourself, and if you are, then we'll be going to trial. And you'll be sitting at the council table alone, and we'll pick the jury and then try it, okay?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I'll see you Monday at 9. Thank you.
Next Monday?
Yes, sir. This coming, a week from today.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Carrie Walker is next. 23 CF 981. Hello, Ms. Walker. Does the state have an offer for Ms. Walker?
What's going on, Judge? Judge, the offer in this case is going to be a withhold adjudication, 24 months probation, court costs, a substance abuse evaluation within 30 days, and any recommended treatment within 60 with random urinalysis, and 12 hours of community service work, maintain gainful employment if it completes 5 job applications per week.
Ms. Walker, have you ever been on probation before?
No, sir.
Do you wish for me to appoint the public defender if you qualify financially?
Yes.
How much money do you make per month?
I recently just lost my job, so I'm
So
between jobs.
how much did you average making per month over the last 5 months?
Hard to say right now. Maybe 5 months.
Yeah, but just per month.
Oh,
over
per
the
month.
last
Oh,
month.
okay. I was about to say.
Yes, ma'am.
Roughly like 2,500 to 3 grand.
Okay. You'll need to fill out a financial affidavit with the clerk's office. If you heard what I told the previous gentleman before you, that applies to you too.
Okay.
So load it up with expenses, where if the clerk says you don't qualify, then the court, appeal it to the judge, let us look at it.
Okay.
So I'll see you back here on November 13th at 9 o'clock. If you don't qualify for the public defender, you'll either be representing yourself or you'll need to hire a private attorney. If you hire a private attorney, you can tell them that the state offered you a withhold of adjudication and 24 months probation.
Okay.
Thank you.
you.
ma'am. See you then.
Okay.
Yes, sir. To the private counsel, Mr. Holzbar.
Good morning, or actually good afternoon, Judge. Well, good afternoon on the East Coast. Thank you so much for calling my case, Judge.
Yes, sir.
I'm on Destiny Moore, Your Honor. That's 23 CF 540, and that's with Mr. Gomez.
Okay. And I don't see Mr. Holzbar's name on my docket. Ma'am?
I'm partners with Randy Reed, the law offices of
Oh,
Randy
okay.
Reed.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Got it. Okay. What are you seeking, Mr. Holzbar?
Judge, this matter has been pending transfer from the Okaloosa Veterans Treatment Court to the Miami-Dade Veterans Treatment Court. Mr. Gomez is working diligently to package that pursuant to the statute, the transfer statute, so Ms. Moore can't participate in the Miami-Dade Veterans Treatment Court. I would just ask for a little more time to allow that logistics process to take place.
Okay.
That's correct, Your Honor. It's just working through the logistics of getting it down to the Miami-Dade Vet Court program, but we've already agreed to allow her to enter into that program, so we're just working on
Good.
getting that accomplished.
Okay. And she was previously in Veterans Court up here?
I believe it was, Your Honor. Or we had originally agreed to allow her to enter into here, and then she's going to be, I guess, working it out down in Miami, and so we're okay with her doing the program down in Miami.
Okay. Mr. Holzbar, first off, please tell your client that I wish her the best in Veterans Court. You know, it originated up here with General Judge Maney. It's a great program that that the circuit court has fewer options than what Veterans Court has, and certainly very uniquely qualified for the situation that she's in. So I wish her the best in that program. Just for my docket purposes, I'm continuing your case until November 13th at 9 o'clock. Okay?
Thank you so much, Judge, and I appreciate the sentiments. We had the pleasure of actually transferring a case from Duval County to Judge Maney's court about 9 years ago. So I'm with you. I can't think of a better program. I appreciate your time, Your Honor. That's all I have, maybe.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay. Any other private counsel? Yes, ma'am. Ms. Jacob?
I am ready with the last two that I had that I need to speak with. Thank you
Okay.
so much for
Yes, ma'am.
indulging me. Your Honor, first is Jessica Stepp in 23876. Ms. Stepp is present and approaching. And Your Honor, I'd just like to leave this plea or continue for next Monday. This is a relatively new case, but it is a probation offer. It's a new case for me, an older case for Ms. Stepp. I'd like to prevent her needing to be continued 2 months. And she wants to talk about the offer, so if we could just leave it for Monday, please continue.
Good. Yes, ma'am. Ms. Stepp, I'll see you Monday morning at 9 o'clock. If Ms. Jaquith says you don't have to be here on Monday, then I waive your appearance. But if she says you need to be here, I'll see you then. Thank you, ma'am.
And Your Honor, finally, Robert Stoudemeyer. Mr. Stoudemeyer is present and approaching 23 CF 1187. In speaking with the state, Your Honor, I think we can probably get a resolution on this one. And in speaking with Mr. Stoudemeyer, he believes he should be able to pay the restitution before Thursday. Because he lives out of town, I'd like to set him for Thursday if the court will allow.
Yes, ma'am. So Thursday, you want him at 9 o'clock?
That would be great. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Stoudemeyer, I'll see you Thursday at 9 o'clock. Thank you, sir.
And Your Honor, that's all I have until this afternoon.
Yes, ma'am.
May I approach briefly?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, Mr. Nopes?
Good, I was able to find Mr. Lucy.
Good. Mr. Lucy?
Judge, he's got a payment plan with the clerk of court trying to get his driver's license reinstated. So I'm going to ask that we just put this on November 13th. I was appointed the end of May. It's kind of a new case, so we could just put it on for November 13th, that would be
Okay.
appreciated.
Mr. Lucy, do you agree to the continuance?
Yes, sir.
I'll see you back here on November 13th at 9 o'clock. Make sure you stay in touch with Mr. Nopes, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Thanks, Mr. Nopes. Mr. Kleins, are you starting?
Yes, sir.
Please.
I'll just call people that I know are here.
Okay.
And we'll circle back. Samantha Blair, followed by Monica Coronado. Ms. Blair is present and approaching, Your Honor. This is a recent transfer into Division II, so we're going to have to ask the court for a one-cycle continuance.
Okay. Do you agree to the continuance?
Yes, sir.
I'll see you back here November 13th at 9. Stay in touch with Mr. Kleins.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
After Ms. Coronado would be David Macoff. Your Honor, this is Ms. Coronado. She was continued from July. She is making restitution payments to the clerk's office. She is requesting a one-cycle continuance. She does think she can have everything paid off by November 13th. She starts a second job today.
Yes, sir.
Today.
Okay.
So,
Ms. Coronado, thank you.
You're welcome.
I wish you the best, especially on both of your jobs.
Yes, sir.
And I'll see you back here on November 13th at 9 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
all right. After Mr. Macoff would be Jessica Manios. This is Mr. Macoff, Your Honor. Could we approach briefly with
Yes, sir.
Mr. Macoff?
Macoff,
Yes, sir.
do you agree to the continuance?
Yes, sir.
I'll see you back here on November 13th at 9 o'clock, and I'm putting trial that cycle if it's not resolved before that time.
Okay.
Okay? Thank you, sir.
All right, ma'am. Yep. After Ms. Manios would be Rebecca Martin. And Jessica Manios is approaching, Your Honor, in 23 CF8. I did give Ms. Manios a copy of a PTI agreement that the state has provided me. I would like to leave Ms. Manios on the 9/18 docket for plea or trial,
Okay.
but I do expect this will be resolved with that PTI agreement.
Ms. Manios, I'll see you on Monday at 9. If it's not resolved then we'll be going to trial, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you this week, okay? After Rebecca Martin would be David Mayo.
Hello, Ms. Martin.
Hello.
Your Honor, this is Ms. Martin. She does have a VOP in 18 CF 2141, which forms the bulk of the, I'm sorry, and then she has a new law violation in 22 CF 2965. The cases, the 22 CF case is ready for trial. However, I know that the state wants to set the VOPs for hearings before then. So if the court would set the 18 CF 2141 case for an evidentiary hearing in October, whatever date the court wants to give.
Okay.
That's correct, Your Honor. We would like to try the VOP first.
Okay. October 12th at 2:30, Madam Clerk.
Only 5 set in the afternoon.
Okay. October 12th at 2:30.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
So I'll see you then, okay? Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, October 12th is your next court date. Yep, Tuesday. After Mr. Mayo will be Christopher Meir. And this is Mr. Mayo, Your Honor. He is actually in the process of putting together some reciprocal discovery for me. And we have had numerous meetings. We're going to be asking the court for a one-cycle continuance. Mr. Mayo has taken the steps of paying a company to download his phone. So we are working as quick as we can, but we do need a one-cycle continuance here.
Okay. Mr. Mayo, I'll see you back here on November 13th at 9 o'clock. Thank you, sir.
Bring that back, bring that by when we get it all put together. Excellent. After Christopher Meir would be Derek McLean. This is Mr. Meir, Your Honor. He has reached a resolution in this case. At this time, Mr. Meir would be entering a no contest plea on count 1. In exchange for the plea on count 1, count 2 will be null prost. Mr. Meir will be placed on 1 year of probation, which will be supervised by JCS. He will perform 48 hours of community service. He will have no violent contact with Davina Devereaux, and he will complete an anger management program, and he will be assessed misdemeanor court costs and $150 in public defender fees, and he would be adjudicated of this misdemeanor.
Okay.
May I approach?
Yes, sir. Mr. Meir, if you will, raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down. Mr. Meir, did you read the plea agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you discuss it with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Did he answer all of your questions?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with his representation?
I am.
Did you sign the plea agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Mayor, I do accept your plea. You're adjudicated guilty of count 1. Count 2 is dismissed. You're sentenced to 1 year probation with JCS. You'll need to perform 48 hours of community service work, have no violent contact with the victim. You have to enter an anger management class within, well, I'm sorry, you'll have to successfully complete the anger management class. You'll need to pay the court costs, $150 public defender's fee, and also the probation fees.
All right.
Anything else from Mr. Meir that I
She's
missed?
going to take your fingerprints, and then I'm going to call you today or tomorrow and tell you when you report to probation. Okay, so they're not in here right now. Okay. Okay, all right, but I'll call you.
Thank you, Mr. Meir. Good luck to you, sir.
Next, I have Derek McLean, followed by Elizabeth McIntosh. And this is Mr. McLean, Your Honor. I believe that the case is ready for trial. I do know that Mr. McLean wants to address the court.
Okay, hold on one second, Mr. McLean. Let me.
I don't know, he's probably
Good,
not.
got it. Okay, yes, sir, Mr. McLean.
Mr. McLean is requesting to approach the bench, Your Honor.
Okay, why does it need to be confidential outside the hearing of the gallery?
I wanted to actually request a hearing. I had asked my lawyer a while back to do that. He said he don't think he'd be privy to that, but I was asking for a conference with the state and my public defender and yourself, sir, if that was at all possible. He's saying that we're ready for trial.
It's kind of like Robert's Rules of Order. I need to understand
He's
what's
saying
before
that,
the court.
we're ready for trial, but I have some other issues that I'd like to discuss with the courts, not like out in the open. That's why I was asked to approach.
Well, you need to have, the court needs to have notice of what you're talking about. If you want to put something in writing and you want to file that, you can send it to my office, also send a copy to your attorney, send a copy to the state. Then I'll decide whether we need a hearing on that or not.
Yes, sir. No problem.
But it's not just a time to say, hey, let's just talk about something.
Yes, sir.
Okay? So we're setting it for trial. So is it plea trial or just trial on Monday?
We are attempting to reach a resolution here.
Okay.
I don't know if that will come to pass, given the age of the case, given the fact that there's really no other subpoenas, there's no motion practice that I can see to engage in.
Okay.
I don't know what else there is to do. I know what Mr. McLean's concerns are, certainly, and they're mine too. But if Mr. McLean, if you want to email me, that'd probably be the quickest way to get whatever you want to put in writing, and I can pass that along to the court and the state. Okay? And I'm going to give you my card. It's got an email address on it. Okay, right there.
So I'm setting it for plea trial, which means I'll see you a week from today at 9 o'clock, and we'll be looking at going to trial on September 26th that week or October 2nd, okay? But if you file some motion, I'll certainly look at that. Get it to Mr. Klein's, the sooner the better, then I can do my homework instead of just springing it on me on Monday, okay?
No problem. Yes, sir.
Good, thank you, sir.
I'll call you Tuesday or Wednesday. After Ms. McIntosh, I have Louis Morant. Your Honor, this is Ms. McIntosh. She's going to be plea or trial.
Okay. So, Ms. McIntosh, I'll see you on Monday at 9 o'clock. Does the state have an offer that they intend to withdraw if Ms. McIntosh doesn't accept it on Monday?
No, Your Honor. In all honesty, I think this case will most likely be resolved by Monday. We've been trying to reach out to the victim and to no avail, and so we're pretty much just leaving it set on Monday so that I can have an opportunity to speak with the victim, and then once I do, we'll be resolving this case.
I understand. So, Ms. McIntosh, I'll see you Monday at 9.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
After Louis Morant is Mariah Mott. And Your Honor, this is Mr. Morant. I actually went downstairs this morning and talked to Judge Mason. The state and Mr. Morant are in agreement that he should be in vet court, so I need to take the necessary steps. I'm trying to get that done by this Friday. Procedurally, I've just asked for a one-cycle continuance, but I don't expect the court will see Mr. Morant again.
Mr. Morant, I'm continuing your case until November 13th at 9. If you heard what I said previously about Veterans Court, those specialty courts like Veterans Court, especially that, I mean, gosh, the background that y'all have, and for the court to have a specialty in that area of things that you experience is just unbelievable. It's fabulous that the state of Florida has that. They have so many different tools that I don't have. They'll really hold you to tasks, stay on you, but if you graduate from that, then your records, there's no record. The case is dismissed. So I wish you the best in that.
Thanks, sir.
If you don't get in Veterans Court, I'll see you back here November 13th at 9.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I'm going to call you tomorrow or Wednesday. All right. Next, I have Mariah Mott, followed by Jeremy Merkworth on Zoom.
Hello, Ms. Mott.
Hello.
Your Honor, this is Ms. Mott. We had rescheduled her motion to suppress from the August 24th date to this coming Thursday. I believe Mr. Gomez is going to request a continuance of that hearing. Procedurally, we would need to ask for a one-cycle continuance for Ms. Mott to have the hearing, but I'll turn it over to Mr. Gomez. If you
Mr.
want.
Gomez?
I believe it's already been continued. There was some potential, yeah, there's a little bit more, but yes, I believe that's already been continued. I have no objection to a continuance.
Okay. So, Ms. Mott, your underlying case is continued until November 13th at 9 o'clock.
Do we want to go ahead and reschedule, though?
I'm fine.
We go ahead and get the motion date rescheduled?
Right.
If we can do the 13th, or the 12th, I believe.
Okay, let's do, well, she said we had like 4 or 5 that
4 or
day,
5.
and we just added another one.
I'll leave it up to the court. I don't.
You want the 16th? Or then you want to do it on the 9th? Well, what numbers do you have for the afternoon on?
On the 9th?
Yes, ma'am.
On the 9th, we have 5 VOP adventures.
Okay,
Or 1:30, I'm sorry.
okay. Why don't we do it October 16th at 1:30?
Yes, sir.
I need to be here for that, correct?
Yep, you do need to be here.
And so the underlying case is continued until November 13th.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you, Judge.
I'll let you know. Yep, we'll talk this week. All right. Your Honor, on Zoom, I have Jeremy Merkwa.
Good. Hello, Mr. Merkwa.
Good afternoon.
Your Honor, this is Mr. Merkwa on 22 CF 251. We are going to announce plea or trial. I did provide the state with some reciprocal last week, but we just leave them on the 9/18 docket plea or trial.
Okay. Does Mr. Merkwa need to be here live on Monday?
Well, if he enters a plea, would the court take a plea over Zoom if it's written? He does score a presumptive prison sentence here, and he and I have had multiple discussions about what a plea to the bench means. Given the circumstances, this is not just a third-degree possession of controlled substance here.
Understand.
I can tell the court that he does live in Mobile, and the reason he's not here in person today is because they just cannot afford to get transportation over here. So I would ask the court to authorize a Zoom appearance on Monday.
Okay.
If it goes past that date, then certainly I would understand the court needing Mr. Merkwa here in person on jury review.
Okay. So, Mr. Merkwa, I'm setting you for a plea or trial on Monday at 9 o'clock. And then if it goes past that date, if it's not resolved, then I'll need to get you here live next Thursday, a week from Thursday. But at this point, you can appear by Zoom a week from today at 9, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
And just for the record, Mr. Merkwood does score 48.75 months with a maximum of 20 years currently as charged. However, upon review, there are additional counts that will be filed should the case go past docket day. So I wanted to make Mr. Merkwood aware of that.
Okay, so Mr. Merkwa, my job isn't to talk you into anything, but just to make sure that you understand everything about your case that I know. Just know that the state intends to file extra charges against you, probably intends to withdraw whatever offer that they've made to you if you don't accept it on Monday. But talk to Mr. Kleins, just stay in touch with him. I just don't want you to be surprised if the state says we withdraw our offer, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. Thank you, sir.
Next I have Ashley Murray Swan, followed by Danny Neal. Ms. Murray Swan is present, Your Honor. 23 CF 359 has already been continued. We inadvertently left off 21 CF 3284 from the motion and order. So we would just ask that 21 CF 3284 be continued to track along with 23 CF 359.
And so that's November 13th?
The 23 CF has already been continued to November 13th.
Ms. Murray Swan, I'll see you on all of your cases on November 13th at 9 o'clock. Probation standing up. Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, her probation officer, Officer Fowler, wanted me to inform the court that she has not reported to the probation office as instructed by Ms. Fowler, and I believe the court also instructed her to report.
I have already spoken.
Her officer did not become aware of her whereabouts until Saturday when she found her.
Yeah, I already spoke with Ms. Fowler, and I'm going straight there after here.
Okay. Stay in touch with Mr. Kleins. He represents you. He can tell you what all the ramifications of that are and what actions you can take to try to mitigate that, okay? Because probation officers will just send me affidavits that say, this person hasn't done this, and without a hearing or anything else, I sign an order that says, revoke a bond, do this or that. I'm not saying on your case, but just in general. So you really need to be proactive about it. Okay? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
After Danny Neal will be Trustin Oya. And this is Mr. Neal, Your Honor. We are going to have to ask the court for a one-cycle continuance. Mr. Neal is in my deposition pipeline. We were attempting to get a pretrial intervention agreement put together, but I don't think that's going to happen, at least as of right now. So,
Okay. Mr. Neal, do you understand what Mr. Kleins is doing in your case?
Yes, sir.
Do you agree to the continuance?
Yes, sir.
I'll see you back here on November 13th at 9 o'clock.
Yes, sir. Have a
Thank
good
you,
day.
sir. You too.
last I have on the morning docket is Trustin Oya.
Good morning, sir.
This is Mr. Oya, Your Honor. We can leave Mr. Oya on the 9/18 docket plea or trial.
Okay. So, Mr. Oya, I'll see you on Monday at 9. Does the state have an offer out to Mr. Oya that it intends to withdraw if he doesn't accept it on Monday?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Oya, I'll see you Monday morning at 9.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I'll call you this week, okay? Yes, sir. All right, sir. Yep.
Mr. Koch?
Yes, sir. Good morning again, Judge. Chantel Paddock. And then I'll be calling Natalie Pearson. Judge, this is Miss Chantel Paddock.
Yes.
Last time we were here, she was going to seek a private attorney. I guess she's decided to stay with the public defender's office, so gave her my card, told her to schedule an appointment. I'll be seeking a continuance in this, Judge.
So, continuance?
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Paddock, do you agree to the continuance?
Yes, sir.
I'll see you back here November 13th at 9 o'clock. Stay in touch with Mr. Koch.
Certainly.
Thank you, ma'am.
Natalie Pearson.
Hello, Ms. Pearson.
Judge, I have 3 cases in this matter, and this is my first contact with Ms. Pearson. I'm glad she showed up. I know these are some old cases. I was gonna ask for a continuance, because I need to speak with her.
At one time, there was a PTI that was offered.
Yes,
I
Judge,
don't
and
know if that was all the cases, but, okay.
Yes, Judge.
Ms. Pearson, I'll see you back here. Make sure that you stay in touch with your attorney.
Okay.
As you heard me say initially, my obligation is to move the cases forward, so that's what I'll do. I'll see you back here November 13th. If it's not resolved then I'll be heading toward trial.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Judge. Next case, I have Daniel Peterson, who's present approaching Judge.
Thank you.
Then it'll be called Mr. Brian Pippin next.
Hello, Mr. Peterson.
Sir.
Judge, I'm seeking a continuance in this matter. I did provide my client with my card and instructed him to schedule an appointment with me.
Okay. Mr. Peterson, I'll see you back here November 13th
Thank
at
you.
9 o'clock.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
And
Yes, sir. Brian Pippin. And then Amanda Pitts.
Hello, Mr. Pippin.
Judge, could we set this for the plea trial date on Monday? I'm
Okay.
trying to work out an offer in this matter.
Okay. Mr. Pippin, I'll see you here on Monday, 9 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Then I have Amanda Pitts, who's approaching Judge.
Hello, Ms. Pitts.
Wait, I just want to make sure, Mr. Codge, is it your intention to get subs out and set that case for trial if we do not resolve it next Monday on Mr. Pippin?
Yeah,
I just want to make sure.
the only sticking point on that one was just trying to win from that case.
No, I just want to make sure that you understand that the way that it's set, if we do not come to a resolution, then we go to trial.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, yes.
Okay. Yes, sir.
And Judge, for Amanda Pitts, I'm seeking a continuance. I gave her my card, first time contact today.
Okay. Ms. Pitts, I'll see you on November 13th at 9 o'clock. Stay in touch with Mr. Koch.
Yes, sir, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Emmanuel Pride, who's present approaching Judge. And then Damien, probably should be next.
Hello, Mr. Pride. Good. How are you?
Judge, seeking a continuance in this matter. Once again, I gave my client a card, told him to contact my office, schedule an appointment.
Okay. Mr. Pride, I'll see you on November 13th at
Yes, sir.
9 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Call that number. Damien Pivas, who's present approaching Judge.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Your Honor, seeking a first-time continuance waiver speedy. I'm trying to work on a counteroffer in this matter.
Okay. So you need discovery in the case?
It's a new case, Judge. I have the offer, discovery, but just seeking
Understand.
a better offer in the
Yes,
matter.
sir. I just know that when we come back, you know, if you should have done discovery between now and then, I'm going to ask, why didn't you do the discovery?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. So I'll see you on November 13th at 9 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. And then I got Ms. Kimora Ramirez, present approaching Judge. Next will be William Reed.
Hello, Ms. Ramirez.
Yes, Judge.
I love Hellraiser. Okay. Yes, yes, sir.
Judge, my intention was to set this for trial Monday. My client did say there's some text messages and some other evidence, so I don't feel comfortable setting that. So I am seeking continuance in this matter.
Okay, to the state.
Judge, this case has been pending for quite a while. So at this point, I would ask that Ms. Ramirez be ordered to meet with Mr. Koch and provide those messages within the next week, if that's where we're going to be going. We've already done the depositions on the case. We are prepared to go to trial this cycle.
Okay, so I'm going to set it for plea trial with an asterisk that just says, you know, if there's discovery that she provides to you and you provide it to the state, and then the state says they need a continuance because of what you were provided, then we'll talk about it on Monday.
Okay.
So Ms. Ramirez, I'll see you on Monday morning at 9 o'clock. You are ordered to provide whatever information you believe Mr. Koch needs for the trial. Whatever you've alluded to him, emails, text, whatever it is, you need to provide him those to him before 5 p.m. on Thursday, okay? And then I'll see you on Monday and we'll talk about where we are. We'll be looking at going to trial at the end of next month, okay?
Yes, sir.
At the end of this month, I'm sorry.
That's
Okay,
fine.
thank you, ma'am.
Call you tomorrow. We'll get all that put together. Okay. Thank you. Yes. Judge, I have William Reed approaching.
Hello, Mr. Reed.
Hello, Your Honor.
Judge, in this matter, I am seeking a continuance. I did provide Mr. Reed my card and schedule an appointment.
Okay. Mr. Reed, I'll see you on November 13th at 9 o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir.
Judge, next case I have, last name is Resetar, first name Richard.
Yes, sir.
Judge, I spoke with the state. This is going to be a plea. I'm asking if we can set it, because my client's having surgery. Can I have this set for the 14th this week?
Okay.
To come in and plea?
Yes, sir.
And, Your Honor, he's going to enter a plea.
The 14th of this week.
I think we have arraignment.
Okay. Yes, sir.
This is going to be, I spoke with the state, to enter that plea and push off sentencing till January. That was our mindset on this one.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So September 14th, you want it in the morning or the afternoon?
Whichever I can get, Judge.
Morning, September 14th at 9 o'clock. And then we don't need to continue the case, it'll be resolved that day?
He will be entering the plea, Judge,
Okay.
and then put off the sentencing.
Good.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Judge.
Thank you.
Judge, next case, last name Rios Okaloosa. She is present, Judge, and approaching.
Thank you.
And then Jeffrey Ross, I'll be calling next. And this is Miss Rios Penaloza, Judge.
Okay, yes, sir.
In this matter, everything on my end, I was ready for trial. My client wants to ask for a continuance. I told her already, I don't have a reason to ask for continuance in this matter, but of course, if she wanted one, I wanted to tell the court that I'll ask for a continuance on her behalf.
Well, you're her mouthpiece. I mean, I don't hear from, there's limited things that I hear directly from the clients about. So you've got to say, if there's no reason to not go to trial, like you just expressed, then there's no legal reason why I should grant a continuance. If you want to put her under oath and you want her to testify about something, and you're seeking a motion for continuance based on that, then I'll rule on it after I hear it. But at this point, it doesn't sound like there's a legal basis for a continuance.
One second. And Judge, and we've had this conversation. I think the only reason is she wants more time to think about her options, but on my end, I'm ready to go to trial. If I could just have one moment.
Sure.
Judge, may my client make a statement towards you, the court?
No, if it's not a motion, like I mentioned before, it's kind of like Robert's Rules of Order, what's before the court. Just seeking a continuance needs to come through your attorney if it's a motion for that. So, is the state ready to go to trial?
Yes, Judge. It looks like FDLE has been in since July, so we're prepared to go.
Okay. So, it'll be plea or trial on Monday. I'll see you Monday at 9 o'clock. Is there an offer that's open to Ms. Rios that you intend to withdraw if she doesn't accept it Monday?
Judge, we'll keep any offers open until Monday, and after that, right now, the offer has been a withhold and 3 years probation, so after Monday, that offer will be no good.
Okay. So, Ms. Rios, just know that the state intends to withdraw that on Monday. I can't make them hold that offer open. Just talk to your attorney about, the best, you got to figure out what's in your best interest. Accept the state's offer, go to trial, make a counter offer if that's what you and your attorney want to do. But whatever, the only thing I can do is make you go to trial, and that's where we're headed. So I'll see you on Monday at 9, okay? Thank you, ma'am.
Judge, next case is Mr. Jeffrey Ross, who's present approaching, and then Ms. Ms. Ross will be calling.
Hello, Mr. Ross.
Yes, this is Jeffrey Ross, Judge. Speaking with the state, we're trying to set this for a plea date in October,
Okay?
and the best date for the state.
I'm gonna be here most of the October dates at this point, so whichever October miscellaneous day there's room.
9, 12, 16?
You guys come on that. Is there a 9th, October 9th by chance?
16th might be good. I don't think there's much on that docket yet.
Can we do the 16th?
Yeah.
Judge, could we get the 16th for
October
plea?
16th, 9 o'clock for a plea?
Yes, Judge, and the reason is we're trying to get a restitution
Okay.
situated and
Sure.
completed.
Okay. October 16th, 9 o'clock, plea.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, I'll see you then.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you,
October
sir.
16th, 9 o'clock? Yes, sir. Yeah, see you then. Ms. Ross? Okay. Yes, Tommy Ross is coming up. How you doing? Judge, Ms. Ross completed the mental health pretrial. That's why the case is a little old to it. If we could set this, ultimately I was trying to get this case no pros, Judge.
Yes, sir.
Could we set this for that Monday trial plea to work this out, to resolve this? Because I know my client wants to resolve this case.
So if it's not resolved, then you're ready to go to trial?
Yes, Judge, but this is going to get resolved.
The state's got a furrowed brow. You're fine with setting a plea trial?
We'll get subs sent out this week, Judge, so if that's where we're going.
Okay. Is there an offer to Ms. Ross that the state intends to withdraw if she doesn't accept it Monday?
If you give me a second, Judge,
Thank you. Rachel.
Judge, if I may?
Yes, sir.
I was speaking to my co-counsel. Could we set this for plea or continuance Monday?
Yes, sir. So, Ms. Ross, I'll see you on this case on Monday at 9 o'clock. If it's not resolved then we'll talk about your case going forward, okay? Also, the deputy has a warrant for you on a new felony arrest, so they'll be taking you
Warrant
back.
for what?
It's a new felony.
A new what, for what?
It's a drug case. You're to step on this way, Ms. Ross?
A new felony?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Koch, before we go forward with your anymore, Teresa, what case do you have, or,
I am here to assist Mr. Koch
okay?
on
Yeah.
Perfect timing.
Welcome to my world.
Rodriguez Graciano Crescencio.
Okay, please. Madam Clerk, if you'll swear in Teresa.
You swear or affirm that you will make an accurate, complete, and impartial interpretation from the Spanish language into the English language and vice versa relative to the cause now under consideration for the court?
I do.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Judge. My client came into my office, and he wants to resolve this case. We went over the plea form, and he's ready to enter a plea. The state is going to reach out to the victim in this case, Judge, for possible reduction to a lesser. Could we set this for Monday? It'll either be pleading to as charged or plea to the lesser.
So I will see you back here Monday at 9 o'clock for the entering of a plea. Thank you, sir. Teresa, anybody else in the gallery that you have?
Yes, I got a Cheryl Rubin, present judge,
Good.
on the Zoom.
Okay. Wait, but I was asking Teresa, Ms. Rubin doesn't
Oh,
need
I'm
an
so
interpreter, right?
I observe, Your Honor, there's one unrepresented in the audience, is Matius Carrillo Alan. It's Matius.
Sam?
That's under,
He's right.
on the docket. Yes, that's him.
Oh, bro.
It's unrepresented. That's it. But the last name should be Matias, not Matius.
And Alan is his first name?
Alan is
Yes,
his
ma'am.
first name.
154 on my docket, Your Honor.
Okay. And it's 23 CF 1412. First, thank you for being here. I know that there was some trouble with delivering letters to you, and so I'm glad that you're here. Does the state have an offer?
I'm pulling it up right now, Your Honor. Your Honor, at this time, it would be a plea as charged, a withhold of adjudication, standard probation in the amount of 2 years, $615 in court costs, a substance abuse evaluation within 30 days, and to begin any recommended treatment within 60 days with random UAs, and then 24 hours of community service work.
And then there would be $40 per month cost of supervision, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And just so you know, UAs means your analysis. They would be checking to see if you had done any drugs.
Sorry for the abbreviation.
You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, the court can appoint one to represent you. You have the right to a jury trial. You also have the right to waive those and accept what the state offers. Have you ever been on probation before?
What is probation?
Okay. Do you wish for me to appoint a public defender if you qualify financially? Do you want an attorney?
No, I'm going to accept the offer.
Okay, but you don't understand what probation is.
No.
Okay. I have concerns with you accepting something that you don't know what it is. Any help, Mr. Koch or Mr. McKinney? What would you suggest?
So it'll be a big start with that.
Señor, el juez no le va a dejar que usted acepte algo que usted no entiende.
If you want to continue this to next Monday,
Usted puede continuar este caso para el lunes próximo.
okay, you could come back to court in a
Y
week,
puede regresar a la corte en una semana.
and then and then I could explain
Y
to
entonces yo le
you
puedo
what
explicar
probation is.
lo que probatoria es.
You want to do that?
¿Quiere hacer eso?
Okay, está bien.
Yes, that would be fine.
Okay. Your Honor, would the court consider putting this on the 9/18 docket for plea to continue, and then I'll make a point to explain what probation is prior to making that decision? I'll come to court a little bit early on Monday. and
Yes, sir.
talk about it.
Más tarde el lunes y así puedo hablar con él.
So I'll see you back here on Monday at 9 o'clock, okay?
A las 9 de la mañana.
Okay,
Tiene
gracias.
que regresar aquí.
Sí, está bien.
Thank you, sir.
Gracias, señor. That is all I have, Your Honor.
Thanks, Teresa.
Thank you, sir.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Marquise Dewberry, Your Honor. It's 22 CF 1218, Your Honor. At this time, we're ready for trial.
Okay.
My understanding is the state is sending over a lab report today.
Yes.
And
Oh, and I have something to do. We had just gotten this Friday. I just wanted to get this to Mr. Reed as soon as possible.
appears to be the body cam we were requesting. Unless there's anything on this, anything with the new lab result, we're ready for trial.
Okay. Does the state intend to withdraw any offer that it's made to Mr. Newberry if he doesn't accept it Monday?
No, Your Honor, all offers will be left open. This is very serious charges, so the min-man on it will be our offer.
Okay. So, Mr. Newberry, I'll see you Monday at 9 o'clock. Well, do we need to be here on Monday and then on Thursday, or do we
I
just
think
want
you
to
just
come?
need to be here for jury review on Thursday.
Okay. So, Mr. Dewberry, I'll see you on September 21st, which is a week from Thursday, at 9 o'clock. At that time, we will talk about jury instructions and how many on the venire, and we'll also set the date for the trial sometime during the week of September 26th or October 2nd. So a week from Thursday, 9 o'clock. Stay in touch with Mr. Dees, okay?
Thank you, sir.
I think the court's conversation implies that he'll, if he reaches an agreement with the state, that he'll be able to enter a plea at final plea day. I know some courts differ, but I want to make sure that his ability to resolve this case will be intact
Yes,
on
sir.
final
There
plea day.
isn't anything that says, and I used to do that where I said I won't accept any negotiated pleas after a certain time, but I haven't been burned on that. And so where, meaning burned, that people have been entering pleas, and we've had a lot of venire members, jurors attend, and we have to go down there and say, I'm sorry, we wasted your time. We don't need you. So, no, sir, I'll accept a negotiated plea until a week from Thursday.
All right, very well, Judge. Thank you. We'll see
Thank
you
you,
then.
sir.
Thank you.
Okay, next, Mr. Koch.
Yes, Judge. I have Ms. Cheryl Rubin on the virtual link, Judge, and then I'll be calling Jessica Sierra.
Okay. Hello, Ms. Rubin.
Yes, hello. Hello. Hello.
Okay, Mr. Koch.
I'm Cheryl Rubin.
Thank you, Ms. Rubin. If you can't hear us, let us know.
Yes.
No, I'm having a difficult time hearing you people.
Okay?
But I'm her sister and I'm here so I can help.
Okay? If you'll repeat what we say to your sister, then we'll see where we go from there.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Koch?
Yes, Judge. My client is out of state, and we had some contact issues in the past, but I've been having contact now. The only thing outstanding in this case, I do have a deposition of the elderly alleged victim in this matter, Judge, so I am seeking a continuance.
Okay, so if you'll let your sister know that her attorney is asking for a continuance.
That would be fine.
No, you need to ask her. She's the defendant.
He wants continuous. Why is that? Why is that, sir?
To take a deposition.
He needs to take a deposition. Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
And
Where do you live, Miss Rubin?
She lives here in Maryland.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so, Ms. Rubin, I'm continuing your case until November 13th at 9 o'clock. Stay in touch with your attorney. If you'll let your sister know that.
Thank you.
Tell your sister that, please.
All right, November 13th. Okay. 9 o'clock. Okay, all right.
Thank you, Ms. Rubin. Thank you both.
All righty.
Bye, y'all.
All right, thank you, sir.
Okay, yes, sir.
yes, Judge, Jessica Sierra. Apologize. Timothy Seifert. Yes. Timothy Seifert on Zoom. If you can unmute your device, please.
Mr. Seifert, can you hear us? He's not moving. There you go. Good. Mr. Seifert, if you'll unmute your mic.
Yes, sir, Your Honor, can you hear me?
Good. Yes, sir, we can. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Koch.
Judge, I haven't had contact with my client, Your Honor, so I'm asking for continuance and to instruct my client to please call my office, schedule an appointment with me.
Okay. How long have you represented Mr. Seifert? Or Seifert?
Judge, I'll have to pull that in my docket, Judge.
Well, that's okay.
It's a 23-405 case, Judge.
Right. Pretty old case, right? 405. Yes. Okay, when is the first time that Mr. Seifert could get in touch with you to make an appointment?
He could call right now, Judge, after he hangs up, my assistants will schedule an appointment.
Okay. Mr. Seifert, what you'll need to do is call the Public Defender's Office today, make an appointment to talk to Mr. Koch, and then I'll see you back here on Monday at 9 o'clock via Zoom, so you can attend via Zoom. But I want to make sure that you've got an appointment with Mr. Koch and that you've attended that appointment, okay?
Yes, sir. Last time, Mr. McKinney was handling my case. I wasn't aware of an attorney change. And then I talked to Melissa Reed last time that has all my contact information. So no one's contacted me, Your Honor, but I will get a hold of you.
Okay,
sir.
so hold on one second. Mr. McKinney, Mr. Seifert stayed in contact with you and he was your client?
Mr. Seifert was my client, and then once Mr. Koch was hired into our office, the case was switched to him. I know that Mr. Seifert lives out of state, I believe in the Texas area.
Maryland, I think is, no, that was her.
Texas,
Okay.
yes, sir.
Texas, okay.
I believe he lives in Texas, but I haven't had any recent contact since the case was switched to Mr. Koch.
Oh, okay. Mr. Seifert, you'll need to, Mr. Koch, can Mr. Seifert have an appointment with you before the end of this week?
Absolutely.
Okay. Mr. Seifert, you'll need to make an appointment with Mr. Koch and attend that appointment this week, and then I will see you via Zoom on Monday at 9 o'clock, and I'm putting it down as plea continue. Okay. So, Mr. Seifert, I'll see you Monday at 9.
9 o'clock, Your Honor?
Right, but make sure before that, where you don't get in trouble with the court, that you make an appointment with Mr. Koch and attend that appointment, okay?
Yes, sir. I'll write it down.
Sounds good. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Koch, who's next?
Okay. Yes, Judge. Last name is Shelton, Colt Shelton.
Mr. Shelton?
Yes, Your Honor. I have a plea form. We're working a lesser to a civil.
Okay, why don't we wait until we, just hang on to that.
Okay.
Let's try to get the folks out of the gallery, okay?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you.
Daniel Schaller. Who's present approaching? Daniel. The next case, Judge, is Stephen Shorts, will be called. Daniel Schaller on 23 CF 935
Hello, Mr. Schaller.
and 2020 CF 72, Judge.
Yes, sir.
Judge, I am requesting a continuance. My client had some COVID issues, canceled some appointments.
Okay.
So continuance so he can schedule that appointment with me.
Mr. Schaller, I'll see you back here November 13th at 9 o'clock. Stay in touch with Mr. Koch.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Then I have Mr. Stephen Shorts, Judge.
Hello, Mr. Shorts.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good. It is afternoon. Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Judge, my client did obtain private counsel, Attorney Powell.
Bill Powell.
Okay, he hadn't done a notice of appearance yet.
He told me I had to get in touch with, ask you first.
No, he needs to, no, doesn't work that way. The court isn't proactive and say, yeah, I'm going to, have a private attorney represent you. So he needs to file a motion for substitution of counsel.
Yes, sir.
And then, so I had said trial next time.
Yes, sir.
So at this point, I'm setting it for a plea trial, and I'll see you on Monday at 9 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
If you're going to have another attorney that's representing you, you need to get them here and get them on board, because at this point, I'm looking at going to trial either the week of September 26th or October 2nd. Attorneys usually don't like to go to trial that quickly, but that's what I talked about a couple months ago. Mr. Powell's not here to speak for you, so Monday, 9 o'clock, plea trial.
Yes,
Okay?
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, next case, Nicholas Simmons.
Hello, Mr. Simmons.
Good morning, or good afternoon, Judge.
Good
How you
afternoon,
doing,
sir.
Judge, in this matter, we're still outstanding discovery. We need the body camera
Okay.
So seeking a continuance in this matter.
Okay. Mr. Simmons, do you agree to a continuance? Do you understand what Mr. Koch
I
is-
do, yes, sir, I do. As
Okay.
a matter of fact, I would really appreciate the discovery.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And it's your right to get that.
Yes,
So
sir, it is. Thank you
I'll
so
see you
much.
back here on November 13th at 9 o'clock.
Yes, sir. God bless.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Judge, my next case, my assistant told me he is present on Zoom, Mr. Kareem Singleton.
Mr. Singleton?
Yeah, Kareem Singleton.
Mr. Singleton, if you're on Zoom, if you'll unmute your microphone. There you go. Yes, sir.
I'm here.
Okay. Do you have, I'm asking you to start your video, Mr. Singleton, if you can. There you are. Good. Okay. Mr. Koch?
Judge, I had no prior contact. I'm seeking a continuance and to instruct my client to call, schedule an appointment.
Okay. Mr. Singleton, do you agree to the continuance?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I'll see you back here on November 13th at 9 o'clock. You have to schedule an appointment with Mr. Koch and attend that appointment within the next 2 weeks, okay?
I have a, so for the job I work at, it asks for like a deposition. I was confused on what is that.
Mr. Koch, is there a deposition scheduled?
There is not, Judge. Like I said, no prior contact. If he can make that appointment, we can discuss the case.
Okay, so Mr. Singleton, you need to make an appointment with Mr. Koch, attend that appointment within the next 2 weeks. If you fail to do that, as an officer of the court, I'm ordering Mr. Koch to let the court know that you have not met with him, and then I very well may revoke your bond. So it's not worth that. Make sure that you make an appointment with him, and then I will see you back here on November 13th at 9, okay?
Okay, Your Honor, can I get his information?
Certainly. Do you have a pen?
Yeah.
Call this number, my assistant, 850 5580.
5580?
Yes, the Public Defender's Office. And call that today, and you can schedule an appointment.
Okay, and how do you spell Koch?
KOCH.
Okay, I have it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, it's 12:30. We have to break for lunch. We'll take a break, and then we'll come back and start back at 1:30. Thank you.
All rise, please.
Oh, Judge, can we get Your Honor real quick?